so explosive, it masks some of those issues where, yeah, the bullpen would come up, give a couple runs up, but the offense had scored 8-9 runs in the first 5 innings. All right, hey, we can live with that. Instead of winning 9-2, you won 9-5. No harm, no foul. The offense has cooled off, come back down to earth. There's only 2 Diamond Hoppers, only 1 qualified hitting over 300 right now. At one point in the season, I think it was up near half a dozen guys on this lineup that was just absolutely raking. So the issues with the bullpen, they've tried to turn it over a little bit, tried to find some new guys. They just haven't found that magical formula. Now, the good news is their starters have been consistent as all heck.
They've been awesome.
They have been the reason why the Hoppers are in this point and been staying near the top of the standings is, most nights out, you're getting 5-6 solid innings from any of the 3 starters.
And for these Mammoths, they just picked up a few new pitchers. This is a time of the year where you start to bear a little low on pitching. Guys, their arms are starting to get a little bit tired. You have to manage a little bit more, particularly in who you want to throw out there for as many innings. But you have a guy in Carter Fitzpatrick that's getting the start today. You add the 34-year-old Matt Swiley, and then also Connor Tomasic coming over from the Utica Unicorns. Tip your cap to the Mammoths for shoring up that pitching staff.
Absolutely, and one thing maybe fans don't think about back at home, but if you bring in a college arm, you think, all right, they're young, we can use a lot of them. For those guys, their innings started back in February. They started ramping up for this in January, so they've had a long season where guys that are in the pro ranks, they started getting into the groove February, March. They started building up in April, May is when they started throwing full force. That's 3 less months for some of these guys track on their arms. So these college guys, yes, you want to rely on them, especially the guys that have come in and succeeded. And Carter Fitzpatrick had a very successful career at Wayne State, but you also don't want to overdo it with these young arms and basically leave some tread on the tires because you want them to be back. You want them to hopefully get signed by an organization. So you have to find a way to balance the using them while also not overusing them and wearing them thin.
And you look at this Mammoth team, they pick up another new guy. It's a bat this time in Zach Weaver. He's going to be playing third. But, Brady, let's get right into the pitching matchup. We talked about Carter Fitzpatrick. Pierce Banks gets the nod today for the Hoppers. Last time out for Pierce, 5 innings of work. Didn't give up that many hits, but 0 strikeouts. You don't usually see Pierce putting up a 0 in the strikeout column. I think these guys are starting to figure out him just a little bit, and they're putting better bat to ball.
I think it's 2 things. One, yes, they're making the adjustment. But if you go back and look at that last outing, Pierce was missing a lot over the plate, very hittable pitches. The Beavers were attacking early, and that was a big difference. Why? Not a lot of deep counts for Pierce, so not a lot of strikeout opportunities.
Come get your Woolly Mammoth bobblehead. It's motorcycle night at the ballpark. We're revved up for a great one. Hoppers and Mammoths at 7:05 when we come back. First pitch and lineups from the USPBL Network.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. FSBcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Andy Appleby. I'm the owner and CEO of the USPBL. We're a 4-team league. We play at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Tryon has a wealth of resources that we can tap into when unique HR issues arise, even including visa and immigration issues related to our players. Tryon has helped us to get our baseball season up and running every year and has made a difficult task much easier.
That's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
3 weeks left in the 2024 USPBL season. We got another week kicking off right now as the Mammoths and Hoppers battle it out, the top 2 teams in the standings. On a beautiful Thursday night, it is Motorcycle Night and Westside Woolly Mammoth Bobblehead Night, presented by Kitch Attorneys. Alongside Brady Beaton, I'm Tom Cavanaugh. We got a full 9 for you today, and before we break into the details, we will talk about the sponsors that make today's broadcast possible. Belfour Property Restoration, Budweiser, Corewell Health, Dave & Buster's, DTE Energy, Fifth Third Bank, Jarbcom Audio Video Solutions, Jimmy John's, Macomb Community College, McLaren Macomb, McQuaid Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Refrigeration, Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers, Pepsi, and United Wholesale Mortgage. Appreciate every single one of our sponsors all year long as we get ready for yet another Thursday afternoon of baseball. Brady, we talked about in the pregame, these two teams have gone at it 9 times this year, but Westside's just had the number. They've been the kryptonite for Eastside this year, 7-2, but they have a new arm in just his second start. Carter Fitzpatrick slabs the toe for head coach Taylor Jellikowski and the Mammoths.
Yeah, had an excellent career at Wayne State. Didn't have to go too far to get back here to continue his professional career here at Jimmy John's Field. And the Mammoths right now, hey, it's their regular season to lose. You look at the standings, they have a 2-game lead coming into this game, and they can really try to do some damage. If they knock off the Diamond Hoppers, it gives them a little more separation. They'll have one more game on the weekend, but the Mammoths have been playing the best baseball of anyone, I guess, and also the most consistent baseball. I think the Diamond Hoppers at one point, hey, they were flying high. They have come back down to earth in a big way. Water found its level for the Diamond Hoppers. So the Mammoths, hey, if they just keep doing what they're doing, they're winning about a 580 clip right now. That will get them the bye to the finals. Remember, the Mammoths won the regular season last year, fell in the finals to the Cinderella Unicorns, maybe hoping to get a little redemption from last year as you see the standings there. I mean, Eastside and Utica both struggling to get out of that middle of the pack, and the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, again, I know they're running out of time, only 3 weeks left. They're a team I don't want to play. They've been playing a lot better baseball as of late, but if you're the Mammoths, you really don't have to worry about that until the championship if you keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, those Beavers, you throw Greg Lokinen on the mound. Them as the 4 seed, you're right, I'd hate to play them. They're going to have a lot of work to do, but we're tied for second between Eastside and Utica. Our pitching matchup today is Carter Fitzpatrick for the Mammoths taking on Pierce Banks of the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. We got to talk about Pierce. I know he did not strike anybody out on 6 hits in 5 innings last time out in a 4-3 loss to the Unicorns, but still one of the best pitchers in the league.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the batting average against finally rose over 200. The strikeout to walk numbers are amazing. The ERA at 2.54. I think you can spin it as a positive as well. He wasn't striking guys out, and after the first inning or so when he was missing over the plate, I mean, there were some juicy pitches being tossed in there. He started to figure out a way. He adjusted to the adjustment, and he was pitching to contact a little more, and he settled in very nicely. So maybe if he doesn't have the swing and miss stuff, he can still find a way to get outs and give Ryan Cockey and his squad a little bit of length here to start off a weekend.
He does a great job eliminating the damage because he did throw 5 innings on 6 hits last week. Although he only gave up 1 earned run, that's a way to limit the damage even though he caught a lot of barrels early. He's looking to have a bounce-back start today with a few more whiffs. And Carter Fitzpatrick, I'm excited to see him go again. We saw him last week, was pulled from the game in the middle of the 4th inning, had some good stuff, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk on 6 hits as well.
And he got his feet wet. That's the biggest thing, is a small sample size, so you can take or leave those numbers. I know the ERA and the batting average against aren't very pretty, but again, it's 4 1/3 innings, and you have the nerves kind of worked out that, all right, I'm used to it a little more. I know what to expect, because, again, we've said it all year that when someone takes the mound for the first time, haven't really played in a stadium this size in a long time, in front of a crowd this big. Hey, Hartwell Field at Wayne State's very nice. It does not hold this many people. There are not a few thousand people watching and cheering. It can be a little bit of an adjustment, and also you're playing against professional ball players. You're playing against 26, 27-year-olds that have maybe had some minor league experience. You're playing against some pretty pretty darn good ball players, and there's an adjustment there as well.
Fitzpatrick gets the ball for Westside. Pierce Banks does for Eastside. We're going to take a look now at the starting lineups from both sides. Head coach Ryan Kotke for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and head coach Taylor Jellikowski of Westside. For the Hoppers, it'll be Colin Cornwell leading it off in right field. Grant Stevenson will bat second at shortstop. Noah Marcoux bats third in left field. Ben Ferguson is your cleanup man at first. Matt Gehrig, the DH, batting fifth. Zeb Rose batting sixth, patrolling center field. Todd Maddox, he's got the lead with 8 doubles in the league. He plays third. Luis Aviles doing the catching today for Banks. And Bailey Martin rounds out the lineup playing second. Brady, you take a look at these 9. I know we said they've come back down to earth, but this is still a darn good lineup. Who do you like today?
You know, I like the leadoff man, Colin Cornwell. He's a newer addition to the Diamond Hoppers. He has been a jolt of energy in a lineup that's gone through a little bit of a lull. I like what he's been doing out of the lineup, leadoff spot of the lineup, hitting over 300 in his limited at-bats.
Brian Schellenbarger, usually the everyday starter in right field. He is down today. Might get a pinch hit at bat later today. We will see. But these Hoppers looking for a big win. Just 2 wins all year against these Westside Woolly Mammoths. This is their 10th meeting together. And somebody for Westside we're going to see for the first time today. We'll get a look at their lineup later. Zach Weaver playing third, batting fifth from Mars Hill University. A big kid, 6'4", 220. Weaver's going to be a big piece to add in on that infield.
Absolutely. Anytime you can add a little bit to a lineup that's been pretty solid all year, just dealt with a few injuries, something Taylor Jellikowski's going to love as we come down the stretch.
Fitzpatrick and the Mammoths take the field. We have the national anthem coming up in just a minute. Brady Beaton, Tom Cavanaugh from Jimmy John's Field when we come back.
Please welcome Rabbi Glenn Squirrel. The USPBL powered by UWM baseball games at Jimmy John's Field are the fun and family-friendly experience you won't want to miss. Entertainment every week, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks every Friday, live music Saturdays, and Sunday fun days for the kids. Kids run the bases after every game, and parking is always free. Come see the stars of the future at Jimmy John's Field. Get your tickets today at uspbl.com.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal getter or dream chaser, an empty nester or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
American flag coming off the field, and so are the motorcycles. They're on motorcycle night at the ballpark. It's also the Westside Woolly Mammoth Bobblehead Day. Got a pretty sweet view of that in the pregame show, but now we're going to take a look at the three-dimensional services group defense for Westside as they're out on the diamond at the moment. Hank Dodson doing the catching for Carter Fitzpatrick. At third, the newbie, Zach Weaver, making his public debut. Colby Seltzer at shortstop. Jake Walker plays second. And Drew Fleming over at first. The outfield will have Anthony Sharkus in left. Featured in center is Nick Pastor and Jose Cedeno in right field. Fox Liam is the DH today for these Mammoths.
And that's a pretty big corner infield for the Mammoths. You have Zach Weaver listed at 6'4", 220. Drew Fleming, the 6'6", 235-pound first baseman. Got a couple of tight ends at the corners for the Mammoths today.
Anything down those lines, they're going to be able to cover a lot of ground. And these Mammoths, back on Saturday, a doubleheader. Fox Liam went deep twice in Game 2. It was a 9-5 win over the Beavers, and then a huge win for Birmingham over Westside last Saturday. Chase Rodriguez, a walk-off homer, but Fox Liam went deep in that game as well. 3 shots for Fox over the course of 2 games for him, so he's the hottest hitter on this Mammoth team.
Absolutely, and then it feels like it's been a torch being passed around of who's been the hot hand for the Mammoths. You know, when Francis Florentino was healthy, it was him. Nick Pastor also had a really nice game, and pitching-wise, it's been a little bit of everyone, and they're hoping Carter Fitzpatrick can become that next guy to help put them over the top pitching-wise.
Fitzpatrick had 102 strikeouts in 89 1/3 innings this past season with Wayne State. This is just his second competitive outing with a ball club since he finished up his season with the Warriors. Love what we see from Carter last time. A lot of cut on his fastball inside to right-handed hitters. Was catching guys off balance all day long, and Carter's going to give them another nice start today. But we talked about pregame. Very, very clutch that head coach Taylor Jellikowski and the Mammoths were able to pick up some fresh arms.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it has to do with how do you manage them, because you're getting late in the season. And for the USPBL, you don't have a deep bullpen where guys will get 3, 4, 5 days off. You're usually at the end of the line pitching-wise the whole time. You're really juggling guys around. I mean, you usually have about 8 guys on your pitching staff total to get through sometimes 27 innings in a weekend.
Yeah, it's just tough at this point of the season because some guys are leaving. You got to make cuts due to injuries or other reasons, and then you have to bring new guys in that have to be integrated into the program on such a late notice. A guy that we'll talk about a little bit later and tomorrow, Matt Swiley, the 33-year-old from California. He's going to make a start. Brady, you and I are on the call all weekend. I'm really excited to talk about Swiley and a few of these new players for Westside.
Yeah, he's a guy that is, while when you think of a 33-year-old coming in, you're going, all right, he's a low-floor type guy. He's actually kind of the opposite. Yeah. We'll talk about it a lot tomorrow, but if he's a guy that is successful, he's going to be a dude right away. It's just that he's got to hit first. He's got to be able to control his stuff because his stuff is going to be pretty strong, just like Carter's.
Brady, I'll tell you one thing. The record for fastest pitch in the USPBL is 102 miles an hour. There's a chance we see that tied or broken tomorrow at some point from Swiley. We're set to go here. Colin Cornwell steps into the left-handed batter's box with his green and orange bat. It's the home whites for Westside with their blue sleeves, white pants as well, and the Hoppers in their black road jerseys. Eastside script across the front with the Hopper logo. We're set for baseball on a beautiful Thursday. All the motorcycles finally being escorted off the field in left center, and we're ready to go.
Leading off the Eastside Diamond.
Zach Weaver will start in at third base, even with the bag in case of the Cornwell bunt. Brady, you and I were on for the game last week. Cornwell stealing a home run away from Ryan Enos in left field, climbing the wall.
Oh, and this is a matchup that you only have to go back about 4 or 5 months to see when they matched up in college in the Saginaw Valley and Wayne State matchup in the GLIAC.
Cornwell goes the opposite way, squeaks one down the third base line. He's going to chug on to second. Sharkus' throw will not be in time. And on the second pitch of the ball game at 7:07 p.m., Colin Cornwell starts with a 2-bagger.
And that's a frustrating pitch pitch for Carter Fitzpatrick. 91 on the low inside part of the plate, and Cornwell just kind of flares it into the perfect spot down the left field line. Not a bad pitch, but Cornwell ends up on second all the same.
Yeah, Weaver playing off the bag at third base. A lot of room for Colin to squeak that in there. Here's Grant Stevenson. Breaking ball called strike on the lower outside corner. Good start for Eastside. They need a big win over these Mammoths. 2-7 on the year against them. Foul back to the screen, make it 0-2 quickly.
When you have a guy like Pierce Banks on the mound, if you can give him a lead before he even gets on the rubber, that's going to add a lot of confidence, not just for Pierce, but as the team as a whole going, all right, we got one of our dudes on the mound. We already have a lead. It's going to be a good night for the Hoppers.
Works middle of the rubber from the stretch. Fitzpatrick leaves that one outside. Carter goes cutter, curveball, changeup, slider, and two-seam. A lot of junk we'll see from the tall right-hander. 1-2 pitch to Grant Stevenson is popped up, back out of play. It is a muggy 81 degrees at the ballpark. No wind swirling around at the moment. It is slight overcast.
At the start of the season, it was a very windy ballpark. I feel like that flag's been still for about a month now here in downtown Utica.
Every time you and I would do a game, it would be 15, 16 miles an hour wind out to right or left center. Stevenson comes up empty for out number one. Good pitch from Fitzpatrick to notch his first strikeout.
Yeah, didn't put it in the spot he wanted, but the pitch was so nasty that kind of made up for it. That's a curveball that ends up middle of the plate, but it just had so much break. Stevenson couldn't find a piece of the bat.
Here comes Noah Marcoux. He is now second in the league in batting average, thanks to Chase Rodriguez going bonkers the last few weeks. Starts him out 1-0. Marcoux with 346 hitters. You see 7 homers and 24 RBIs. That's going to be set in 1-1.
Just nibbled at the outer part of the plate, and with first base open, I know that it's early in the game, but Marcoux's a guy, hey, again, a walk here with a runner in scoring position, not the worst case scenario.
Especially with Cornwell with speed down there at second base, he'll score easily on a single as the outfield is deep all the way around. 2 balls and 1 strike now to the second lefty, that Fitzpatrick will see. 3 of the first 4 batters actually come out of the left side. 2 balls and 2 strikes, swing and a miss from Marcoux.
Now that's the second batter in a row, rather, that Fitzpatrick has made a really nice pitch, but he has put dead red center of the plate. Gonna have to move that around. Hey, you got away with it early, but that's not a habit I'd like him to get into.
2-2 pitches roped on the ground. Foul. Not by much down the first base line into the corner. Brian Schellenbarger, the first base coach today, was begging for that to stay fair.
He thought for sure that was a fair ball, and it took a hard right turn on the first bounce. I thought that was for sure tucked inside. Just had some weird spin to it.
That's a great point you bring up, too, about those off-speed pitches being middle of the zone, because maybe at first they start to be a little off balance, but you come second, third time around to the lineup, you're still leaving those pitches there. Marcoux, Ferguson, and company, they're going to take you for a long ball. 2-2 pitch to Noah's on the ground. This time fair, gloved by Fleming. He touches onto the bag for out number 2, and Cornwell, who move up to third 90 feet away from our first run of the ball game.
Well, for those pitches missing over the middle of the plate, it's what happened to Pierce Banks last week. He was missing those pitches over the middle, and he was paying for them. Now, they went down early, and he settled in quite nicely, but Pierce didn't have the luxury of some swings and misses that Carter's gotten here in the first inning.
Here comes the Hopper hit leader, Ben Ferguson, with 29, looking for number 30. Also 20 RBIs. That's third best on the team behind Gehrig and Marcoux. Wags the bat over the left shoulder. High leg kick from Fitzpatrick leaves that pitch way outside 1-1. Good start from Carter after the leadoff double from Colin Cornwell, who now stands at third base. This one's going to get by the catcher, Dodson. Coming to the dish is Cornwell. The throw on is not in time. 1-0 Hoppers as that pitch sneaks by the glove of the catcher, Hank Dodson.
I think that'll go into the book as a pass ball that scores the run. And I think a good throw from Dodson, if he puts it about waist high or below, might be able to slap that tag on, because we talk about it all the time, the lack of room straight behind home plate. That was a risky send by Cornwell. That might be a instance where lack of experience paid off.
Right. And I think also because that ball ticked off the top of the glove, it was sent into the netting. Mm-hmm. Brady, we've seen in the past with Whit Hughes or Aviles or company behind the plate, that ball will ricochet off the padding. It didn't catch any padding, so it was a dead ball that just bounced right off of the net, and it was a long run roughly than usual than it was for Dotson. And you're right, if he threw a little more pepper on that ball to the plate, they might have had him.
Last pitch was a 91-mile-per-hour fastball that Ferguson was way in front of.
He breaks his bat this time and floats it over the head of Fleming into right field for a single.
I don't like the back-to-back fastball there. He just threw a fastball, and he was way out in front, pulls it foul. So you come back with the hard stuff again, and he doesn't time it up a lot better, but enough to get a hit. Hey, I know it was 3-2, but I'm throwing my slowest pitch I have there and begging Ben to wait back and daring him to hold on for that one.
Because if he was late on that pitch, then you stick with the fastball.
Right.
You're not throwing him any off-speed to speed up his bat.
That's the pitch I would have been looking for.
Gehrig swings and misses the first pitch down and away. 1-0 Hoppers are in the top of the first. Cornwell scored on a pass ball. Gehrig leaves it in the dirt. Nice block from Dotson. 1-1. Gehrig second on the team in RBIs with 21. He's got a .268 average, fourth best with these Eastside Hoppers. Very wide stance, holding the bat in close. Swing and a miss again. That left shoulder is down the third base line on a slider outside.
This should be nothing but a slider. Same spot. Hey, everyone might know it's coming, but you got to dare him to hold off on that one.
Now left side of the infield could get a chopper if he makes contact with this. Fastball down, 2-2 now. Here's an early lead for Pierce Banks to work with when he comes onto the bump in the bottom of the first inning. Looking for a few more. Gehrig's got the pop to do it. Swing and a miss. Way out in front on the off speed. 2 strikeouts in the inning from Carter Fitzpatrick, but Colin Cornwell scores on the pass ball. We'll head to the home half of the first inning, 1-0 Eastside. Pierce Banks will toe the slab when we come back. You're watching USPBL Baseball.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corewell Health.
Hoppers with a 1-0 lead. We head to the bottom of the first inning alongside Brady Beaton. I'm Tom Cavanaugh from the USPBL Network. Let's take a look at the Westside Woolly Mammoth lineup posted by head coach Taylor Jellikowski, assisted by Justin Karn. 18 and 13 are the Mamos coming in. Jake Walker will lead off and play second base. Fox Liam in the DH spot batting second. Anthony Sharkis in left bats third. The cleanup man is Nick Pastor in center. Zach Weaver, talked about him making his debut at third base. He's batting fifth. Drew Fleming, 6-hole at first base. Colby Seltzer will play short and bat seventh. The catcher, Hank Dodson, bats eighth, and rounding out the lineup is Jose Cedeno in right field. I know we just touched on Liam a little bit in the top half of that inning, but we like him today to have a big day.
Absolutely. He's a guy that has great patience. Early in the season, his batting numbers weren't there, but you mentioned 2 home runs last week. He's really starting to put bat to ball. I mean, his on-base percentage is darn near 500 at 487, so he gets gets on base a lot. He's hitting the ball well, almost hitting close to 300 now, where before it was started the season about 100 points lower. He's figured out his stroke at the plate.
So we mentioned 3 home runs back on Saturday for Fox. Jake Walker takes a fastball, splitting the middle of the plate, 0-1. Banks works first base side of the rubber. Delivers a fastball that's lined into center field. Cornwell back a few steps, makes that catch. Check that. That's Zeb Rose out there in center field. Cornwell is in right. And that's where we'll take the defense, the three-dimensional services group defense, at this very moment. Behind the plate is Luis Aviles doing the catching. At third, Todd Maddox. Shortstop is Grant Stevenson. Bailey Martin will play second, and Ferguson at first. Noah Marcoux plays left. That was Zeb Rose who made that catch for out number 1, and Colin Cornwell in right field.
Ryan Cockey's he usually has the same outfield. He had to switch it up on us, keep us on our toes. I know it's just force of habit. We've gotten used to the same Hopper outfield.
It doesn't help that Rose and Cornwell both lefties with the same stature as well.
Yeah, from here, if you didn't know any better, you'd think they're the same person.
Liam skies one in the air on the infield. Maddox at third calling for it. Puts that in his back pocket for out number 2. Good start for Banks through 2 batters.
And aggressive swings again from the Mammoths, I think trying to mirror the approach we saw last week. Don't let them get deep in counts, but doing a nice job missing barrels and a couple of routine balls in the air to get us started.
Comes Anthony Sharkis. 9 ribbies, a 278 average. He spent time on the injured reserve earlier this season, but glad to see him back. Had a Sports Center qualifying catch in left field about 2 weeks ago. Picked a ball off the blades of grass. There's a heck of a hitter over at Madonna. He takes the 0-1 for ball 1. Banks a 2.54 ERA. The league is hitting .203 against him. This is the first time all season, Brady, we're seeing that league average against above 200 for Pierce.
Oh, he was so dominant, and to a point, water's going to find its level. You're not going to be unhittable for the entire season, especially as you see guys for a 6th, a 7th, and 8th time in a game. But he's still been elite, and I think one of the front runners for pitcher of the year here in the USPBL.
Mammoths came into the game with a 246 average as a team at the plate. First in home runs with 31. And they're averaging just under 5.5 runs per game. The 3-1 to Sharkis is lined to the screen. So by the numbers, the Mammoths are the best offensive team in the league. And this is where Banks needs to have one of his best starts this season.
Start here with a 1-2-3 inning. After going up in the top half of the inning, hey, don't let the Mammoths get out of the gate hot.
This will be pitch number 10 from Banks. Sharkis stays alive, fouls that towards the road.
Especially if he can do it in under, let's call it 13 pitches. That's usually about the number 12, 13, where if you can get that number consistently, you're going to have a nice long outing.
And we saw Harry Orth average 10 pitches an inning last Sunday as he threw 5 hitless innings. 3-2, swing and a miss. Pierce Banks. He goes 1-2-3, picks up his first strikeout in the opening frame, and it's a 1-0 Eastside lead as we go to the second. Banks back to his pure form. Here on the USPBL Network, we'll be right back.
The perfect match. It's what so many of us are looking for. When it comes to getting a mortgage, how can you find the one that's perfect for you? Start at mortgagematchup.com. Because the only way to get a mortgage that's easier and more affordable is to find a local home loan expert first. Go to mortgagematchup.com today.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARPCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARPCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARPCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarpcom.com.
1-0 Hoppers here in the second inning from the USPBL Network alongside Brady Beaton, Tom Cavanaugh. 2 hits in the frame for Eastside against Carter Fitzpatrick. Although he did have 2 strikeouts, a little bit a yin and a yang in that inning. He looked a little dominant towards the end, but did give up a few hits.
I mean, I would say overall, it was a good inning for Carter Fitzpatrick. You look at the 2 hits, they were kind of bloop hits. Inside out at a pitch to lead it off down the left field line. I mean, you couldn't toss it down the left field line any better. And then a bloop hit into right, a couple of strikeouts mixed in there, and a pass ball that scored the run.
On the second pitch, Zebrosis pops it up, foul ground, caught by Dotson, the catcher, behind the plate. 1 up, 1 down to start.
Next up, the third baseman, number 13, Tyler Maddox.
Now, you're right, that opposite field swing from Cornwell was definitely not hit on the nose. He just hit it in the right spot, and working out of a leadoff double to just 1 run, that's limited the damage. It's nice work.
And I think that inning's a prime example of if you're just looking at the box score and if you're watching the game, you're going to get 2 completely different ideas of how that inning went.
Soft line at a shortstop, backhand catch from Seltzer, and there's 2 up and 2 down in just 3 pitches.
And that's a perfect example. That ball was hit exactly as hard as the Cornwell double. That one's right at Seltzer, so, great job, 1 pitch, 1 out. Where Cornwell doubles and you go, oh, come on, he gave up a double to lead off the inning. But it really, pitch was in a very similar spot, hit it about the same velocity, but you get an out instead of a runner on second.
Fitzpatrick dialed in with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner to Luis Aviles. Make it 1-1 on that off-speed that misses inside. Luis, just 11 at-bats this year with 2 walks, 4 strikeouts as well. Foul one straight back, 1-2 is the count. Fitzpatrick filling up the zone right now. Even though he gave up the 2 hits, you love to see the command.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He hasn't worked deep in a lot of counts, or when he did, he seemed in control so far, so Fitzpatrick seems a lot more comfortable this time out.
Aviles cracks one on the ground to shortstop. Short hop for Seltzer across the body. Throw to first is in time. 1-2-3 frame for Fitzpatrick and the Mammoths. We go to the bottom of the second inning. 1-0 Eastside. Beautiful play from Seltzer on the recovery.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
For the past 35 years, Bell's Brewery has been inspired to brew beers that you can count on. Not just for taste, but for quality. From Two-Hearted Ale to Oberon, to new classics like the official Hazy IPA, the Easy Drinking Golden Ale, or the No Yeah. Bell's has brewed inspired beer since 1985. Bell's Brewery in Comstock, Michigan. Please drink responsibly. Out of the home half of the second inning, and a 1-0 lead for that man right there, Pierce Banks. He worked a 1-2-3 bottom of the first with 1 strikeout, and his numbers this year have been great.
Yeah, and he picked up right where he left off, a 1-2-3 inning, got a punch out, got a couple pop outs. I'd like to see that continue here against the middle part of this order, and a guy in Nick Pastor who had a nice Saturday rather.
Picked up strikeout number 55 on the season. He should have clipped 60 in either this start or the next. Remember, folks, just 3 weeks left in the season before we hit the first week of September for playoffs. Nick Pastor takes strike 1. 2 home runs. The other one coming, the second one I should say, coming on Sunday was a 3-run jack. And this pitch hits Nick Pastore, who stood steady in the box.
Caught his elbow guard because you heard the tink or you heard the contact, and I thought that might have caught his bat, but no one protesting, so the first base runner comes on a very slow hit by pitch. Yeah, it certainly did.
Looping curveball there, 12-6, that just caught a piece of Pastore. Big shout out to Dre Williams-Nelson as well. He is the first base coach for the Mammoths today. It's now Zach Weaver's turn, getting his first taste of Jimmy John's Field. And what a welcome against one of the top 2 pitchers in the league as well. Pastore can steal a base with the best of them. 90-mile-an-hour fastball, lower inside corner, starts out Weaver.
And I really like the delta in the velocity for Pierce Banks, as that curveball is looping, and then he comes back and fires a 90-mile-per-hour dart to lead off Weaver.
Off speed, tapped, fouled on the first baseline. 0-2 quickly to Weaver. Played his college baseball at Mars Hill University. That's a Division II school in North Carolina.
Been slowly working his way up north from Florida, went up to North Carolina, and now he's about as one of the more northern states you can get in Michigan.
Pastore takes off for second. It's spoiled with a foul ball. And Weaver coming from Lake Mary, Florida, same hometown as Riley Green. Not too far from Kerry Carpenter's hometown of Eustis, Florida.
I will say, if there's one thing no one can say, you do know your Florida geography. Anytime there's a city in Florida, I know Tom's going to have that on lockdown.
2 full summers down there. I got to know my way around. It's a high fly ball again, foul. Weaver hanging tough on 0-2.
Caught a lot of barrel on that one. Just couldn't get the barrel through the zone, but that was a nice crack of the bat. If he can speed up the bat a little bit, that's an extra base swing.
Zach played some collegiate summer ball in the Coastal Plain League earlier this season. Only had 34 at-bats where he had 6 RBIs on 4 hits. And in his last year at Mars Hill, that was this past year, 49 total hits, 14 homers, and 36 RBIs. A lot of pop in this bat. Pastore takes off for second. Perfect throw from Aviles. Pastore is out. Wow.
I'll give Pastore credit for a second. I thought the swim move might have gotten Stevenson, but how about that strike him out, throw him out? That is clinic tape right there.
And well done from Aviles to frame that strike on the upper inner corner and then get the throw off in time. I mean, he was out by a mile.
He might have avoided that tag, although Grant sold it, and I didn't see too much argument from Pastore, but that was a great throw from Aviles.
Leaves it up to Drew Fleming here in the second inning. Great year so far for Drew. Coming in with monster stats out of Concordia, Ann Arbor. Already 6 home runs and 21 RBIs. He's going to line one to center field. This ball's crushed. Going back, Rose to the wall. Makes the catch a few feet away from the center field wall. Fleming gave it a ride. Just needs to do a few more curls to get that out. We go to the third inning. Hoppers lead 1-0 over the Mammoths. This is your home for USPBL baseball.
And fans, we're going to throw it down to Patty.
Thank you, Johnny. We are doing a motorcycle scramble. I'm here with Ben and Jeff.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and reset our life around zapping stuff and cheering for stuff with your friends. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Joseph with the first interception for the Detroit Lions in the season of 2024. Split your screen up. Put a little USPBL and a little bit of preseason NFL football. He's Brady Beaton. I'm Tom Cavanaugh. We're into the third inning. Bailey Martin will lead us off against Carter Fitzpatrick, and he swings and misses.
Like that first pitch on the black, that's where Fitzpatrick needs to live if he wants to have a longer outing.
Martin pulls one way fouled on the third baseline into the umbrellas.
Look out. That one was hit pretty hard.
On a line, too.
And the umbrellas, you can't really see the way that ball was coming in. That's a packed house. Someone probably got a little bit of a spook over there.
Might need a new Bell's beer. 0-2 on the way to Bailey Martin, the 9-hitter. On the ground to shortstop. Backhand play for Seltzer. Works his momentum towards first. It's a bullet. 1 out. Seltzer, one of the cleanest shortstops, along with Patrick Baggett, Grant Stevenson and company. Also, Ben Wilcoxon, got to give him a ton of credit as well.
I feel like there's just a wealth of solid middle infielders here.
There is.
There's not too many guys that you go, all right, I don't know if they could make that play. A lot of smooth, sure-handed infielders through the 4 teams here.
Cornwell will bat for the second time today. He doubled down the left field line in the first. Came around to score on a wild pitch, or on a pass ball, sorry.
I'd still work him inside. I know he got the double, but he inside outed it. It wasn't a great swing.
Pulls one to the first base side this time, and it's between the legs of Fleming, who makes the stop and touches the bag. 2 gone here in the third inning.
And ironically, the better swing for Colin was that one.
Yeah.
He hit it on the screws. I mean, 94 off the bat. You don't like seeing it pummeled right into the dirt, but nice reaction from Drew Fleming. That's a better swing than his double down the left field line.
Stevenson, a strikeout victim his first time up, 1 of 2 so far for Fitzpatrick. Nasty breaking pitch catches the inside corner. That was a lot of movement. Jam shot popped foul out of plate on the first base line. Nothing in 2. Fitzpatrick, I mean, he's just commanding his spots very well right now. Eight RBIs, 1 home run on the year for Stevenson. His brother Luke was featured in the league earlier this year. Barely gets the bat on a check swing, staying alive.
And he is not seeing the ball well. That's 93 on the hands. That's not usually the pitch you see the check swing on. He was sitting off speed, and that pitch got in on him in a hurry. Don't look now, but with an 0-2 count, Carter Fitzpatrick, one nice pitch away from retiring his 7th straight.
Here's the breaking ball. Stevenson gives it a ride out to left field. Not too far. Sharkus camps underneath and makes the catch. As Brady just said, 7 straight retired for Carter Fitzpatrick after giving up 1 in the first. It's the fifth third bank out of the game. And with that comes JJ, the water boy, to help out our field umpire. Going to hydrate our official while he gets a treat in return. It is all sponsored by Michigan First Credit Union. JJ, the star of the show every night out, and he gets some motorcycles and bobbleheads to go along with his presence. We go to the bottom of the third inning, 1-0 Eastside over Westside. You're watching USPBL Baseball.
And now we're going to throw it down the field to Perry.
Andy Appleby. I'm the owner and CEO of the USPBL. We're a 4-team league. We play at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Tryon has a wealth of resources that we can tap into when unique HR issues arise, even including visa and immigration issues related to our players. Tryon has helped us to get our baseball season up and running every year and has made a difficult task much easier.
That's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Couldn't ask for a better day at the ballpark. 80 degrees and sunny with a little bit of clouds and the humidity a little tick over what we would enjoy, but 0 chance of rain. That's big.
I always hate when it says 0 because it feels like you're tempting fate. Like, hey, give it the 5% because you never know. But, yeah, that's a great night again. We have had, it feels like no wind through here the last 4 or 5 times we've done a game together, Tom. It's been very still, at least today. Started off a little warm. It's cooled off enough to where you're not going to be sweating just watching the game.
But even with that thick air, too, that does not help the ball fly out. It needs to be a hot but dry day for this ball to launch out of here. The mugginess kind of deadens it a tad, and you're right. There's just no wind swirling around today in any direction. The pennant's in left field, and the Utica Unicorns championship flag at rest, and so is the flag in center. Colby Seltzer will get his first at-bat. It's been 6 straight retired for Pierce Banks. He hit the batter Pastor to start the second, but Aviles helped him out with a caught stealing. Seltzer tied for 4th in the USPBL with 5 homers. And he lines one out to left field. Could this be 6? Yes, it is. Colby Seltzer starts off the 3rd inning with a solo blast, and we're tied.
The question wasn't did he hit it hard enough, it was did he get it high enough? Yeah. Because he hit that thing on a rope, and it wasn't as if Marcoux could react fast enough. It was, will it catch the top of the fence or not? And it had just enough height. 99 off the bat. Heck of a swing from Colby Seltzer.
6th on the year for Colby. Gave it a ride. Absolute missile. All Marcoux can do is stare and watch. That's a pitch right there that Banks leaves over the plate. Not strictly middle, a little bit on the inside part, but that's right where Seltzer wanted it.
Well, and Drew Fleming's at-bat to end last inning, was a little bit of foreshadowing. It was a very similar swing. It had a very similar trajectory. The only difference is Fleming hit it to center field where Rose could go back and make the play. Seltzer pulls it, and it's a round tripper.
Dotson in just a few games so far this year. Makes it a 1-1 count. He's been doing a ton of catching, filling in with Zach Beadle. Beadle was on the IR for the last couple of weeks, and Dotson's found himself a mainstay role in the program. 1-1 breaking pitch just misses upstairs, not by much at all. 5 total hits, 1 of them is a double, and 3 RBIs for Hank. Make it 2-2. Colby Seltzer just hit the 32nd home run of the year for Westside. They lead the entire league by a good number. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The next closest of these Hoppers with 24. Banks looking to have a bounce back here to the catcher, Dotson. He pulls it on the ground. Backhand play for Stevenson. Stabs at it, throws to first, and it's scooped up by Ferguson. Nice defensive play for route number 1.
I like the route he took to that. He angled it in a way when he picked it up. You'll see right here. He's working his way not towards first, but at least towards the plate, so it's not all arm going across your body. It's a little thing, but that makes that throw that much easier, and you're not jumping off the back foot having to make a heroic throw. Little thing from Grant Stevenson, but I like what I saw there.
Yeah, working behind the baseball and getting your momentum carrying in a different direction to help out your throw is, it changes the plays that you make. Here's Cedeno, pops up the first pitch, and he fouls out to Maddox.
90% of ballparks in America, that's a souvenir. Here, it's a routine play for Maddox.
And nearly 100 feet of foul ground separating the foul line and the dugouts. You put the ball in the air and you don't hit it in the outfield, there's a really good chance a corner infielder or a catcher is going to come after it and make the catch.
It's a punishing ballpark for sure.
Jake Walker, he lined out to center field his last time. Started the offensive day for Westside. He looks at strike 1, lower outside corner. Sun beginning to set, straying shadows across the front of the infield and a little bit of left. Ball misses off the plate outside, 1-1. Jake Walker from Purdue, Fort Wayne, out of Lafayette, Indiana. Pulls one on the ground, this time again to Stevenson. Backhand play, throw to first is in the air this time. That's out number 3.
Smooth as can be over there at short.
Great bounce back for Pierce Banks after giving up the long ball, but Colby Seltzer evens up the game with a 6th home run of the year for the shortstop of Westside. You're watching USPBL Baseball. We're square at 1 apiece.
Andy Appleby. I'm the owner and CEO of the USPBL. We're a 4-team league. We play at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Tryon has a wealth of resources that we can tap into when unique HR issues arise, even including visa and immigration issues related to our players. Tryon has helped us to get our baseball season up and running every year and has made a difficult task much easier.
That's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corewell Health.
Marcoux gets us started here in the 4th. Carter Fitzpatrick out for another inning. He misses with his first pitch. Ground out to first last time for Noah. It's been a great outing so far for Carter Fitzpatrick since he gave up a run in the first. It was a leadoff double to Cornwell to start the ball game. A pass ball from Dotson brought him in. Marcoux pulls it again, this time to second. Walker fields, throws, 1 out.
Second time in a row they've gotten the dangerous Marcoux to bounce out to the right side. Nice job by Carter Fitzpatrick. Again, the first inning, box score-wise, says it wasn't very good. You watch and, hey, a couple of soft hits. He's kept that up, and now the home run puts it at a tie game. Maybe an even bigger renewed sense of confidence for Fitzpatrick.
8 straight retire now for Carter. He's working with just 2 strikeouts, both coming in the first inning. Ferguson lines on down the right field line, fair, into the corner. Cedeno going to have to track it down. Ferguson will try on for second. The throw is cut off, and it's a 1-out double for Ben Ferguson. That's a clutch swing right there in a tie game.
So right on cue of me talking about how great Carter Fitzpatrick has been, Ben Ferguson goes, 92 off the bat, down the line. And if he gets it just a little more, that's probably over the fence in a souvenir for someone on that hill. But a heck of a swing, pitch that caught a lot of the plate, was able to get the barrel out in front, and the go-ahead run in scoring position here in the 4th.
First hopper to 30 hits is Ben Ferguson with that one. 5th double of the season. Gehrig takes inside. Struck out swinging his first time to end the first. If you're Fitzpatrick, you stick with that slider down and away to Gehrig. He came up empty 3 times on that pitch. There it is again. Half swing there from Matt. One run on 3 hits currently for Eastside. 1 run on 1 hit for the Mammoths. That one was a big fly from Colby Seltzer. Swing and a miss. Gehrig in bunches right now, down 1 and 2.
He had them all in knots the first time up with that slider. nothing but breaking balls here. If you throw a fastball, it's got to be high and out of the zone to change the eye level. But that breaking ball, Gehrig's just not seeing it right now.
For Gehrig, it's either recognizing spin or he's making up his mind before the pitch is on the way. It's one of the two. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Another breaking ball at the bottom part of the zone. Nice call from Dotson, and it's 2 gone. Strikeout number 3 for Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, sometimes the simplest solution is the best solution. He's not hitting the curveball. Keep throwing the curveball, the slider, any breaking pitch. Sometimes you just got to kiss it, keep it simple, and that's exactly what Fitzpatrick did for his 3rd punch out of the game.
Zeb Rose, a pop-out victim to the catcher his last time. Now lines one into the left center gap. Scoring easily will be Ferguson. Rose is going to try for a hustle double. The throw is cut off from Seltzer. Oh, boy, they had him. RBI swing from Rose makes it 2-1 Hoppers in the 4th.
I think that's a lack of communication. I don't know if Walker, being one of the newer players, didn't have that talk. You see here that Seltzer, there's no real point to cutting this off. There's not a runner at third. You don't have to worry about another guy moving up. You cut it off, 15 feet in front of him? The throw was on line. That's one where Walker needs, and again, from here it's hard to tell, but needs to be saying, let it go, let it go, let it go.
Yep. Through
whatever the verbiage you want to use is.
Deep fly ball off the bat of Maddox. Long run for Pastor. He brings it in for out number 3. Zeb Rose gives the Hoppers a 2-1 lead here in the top of the 4th inning with a beautiful swing and 2 outs. We go bottom 4. Fox Liam will get us started. Hoppers have the lead on the USPBL network.
The perfect match. It's what so many of us are looking for. When it comes to getting a mortgage, how can you find the one that's perfect for you? Start at mortgagematchup.com. Because the only way to get a mortgage that's easier and more affordable is to find a local home loan expert first. Go to mortgagematchup.com today.
I'm Anthony Tomey, CEO of Tomey Group, and we're one of the largest Jimmy John franchisees in the country. With 50 Jimmy Johns and over 700 employees, it's a challenge to manage operations. What could possibly go wrong with owning 50 Jimmy Johns? People don't show up, equipment fail, run out of bread, no tomatoes, we need onions. Many different things can happen. Tryon allows us to really focus on the food and the operations of the restaurant.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Westside Woolly Mammoths will take a look at their team stats so far this season, coming in at 18-13, number 1 in the standings in the 2024 USPBL. A 246 team average at the plate. That's pretty darn good. And that team ERA at a 4.03. Can't ask for much better. You see a lot of the teams in the league upwards of 5.5, 6 ERA, and the K's to walk ratio, boy, they're almost doubling that up. And 32 home runs as well after Seltzer went deep last inning. Pierce Banks roughed up with the long shot, but retired the next 3 in a row. That's the only blemish on the scorecard for him, Brady.
One thing I like that both pitchers have done, hey, no walks, 1 free pass, it was a hit batter, and it clipped the elbow of Nick Pastor, who we'll see this inning, but guys attacking the zone, challenging hitters. It's been a pretty fun ball game to watch here as we're getting into the middle innings.
Liam, he popped out in foul ground to third, in play on the infield to Maddox, and they're playing him to pull heavy. You got Maddox playing nearly shortstop, that 5-6 hole, and Stevenson is right up the middle. Rose shades the lefty Liam a few steps to his left and right center field. There's a breaking pitch to even up the count 1-1 to Fox.
Caught a lot of the plate. Again, not the spot you want to put the changeup.
Liam, one of 2 Mammoths with more walks than strikeouts this year. It's him and Pastor. It's a high chopper over the head of Banks. It's going to be a cross throw play made by Stevenson for out number 1. Grant's been great today. He's already had a few plays. That was his third putout.
Took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, good day to be Grant Stevenson. And that one's a tougher one. I know, Foxley, I'm not the quickest down the line, but you don't have time to make an on-balance throw. You're still leaning a bit, had to pick it up on the move. Made it look simpler than it was.
Smooth with the hands and thrown across the body. I know they make it look easy, but boy, it ain't. Here's Anthony Sharkis, struck out swinging his first time. Sends that first pitch back towards the road, 0-1. Banks has allowed just one hit. It was a Colby Seltzer homer. 2 strikeouts to his name through 3 1/3. 1-1 just off the plate with that off-speed pitch at 78.
Aviles, that frame jab, I think over-exaggerated a little bit. If he catches it and just moves the wrist a little bit to try to sell it, caught the corner, might be more likely to get that borderline call.
1-2 on the foul ball. And that's spot on, because when you try to over-exaggerate the pull in of the glove, to the umpire, that looks like you're really trying to sell it and yank it back in the zone and try to make it look like a strike when it really wasn't. But that pitch was so close that you're right, he could have just stuck it.
It's almost like in football or basketball when you commit a foul or a penalty and the arms go up right away and you hold them. Nope, wasn't me. It doesn't mean you're guilty, but it just makes you look more guilty in the eyes of the official. Yeah, if you move it away, you're going, all right, that was way out. You're trying to put it dead center.
2-2 turns to 3-2, and I guess we could say the same on that Nick Pastor stolen base attempt, because if Stevenson tries to continue to reach to get a glove on him, to the field umpire, he might think, oh, he didn't get him, considering he's trying to dive and get some glove on him.
If you talk to a lot of umpires and officials, they'll say a lot of times the players tell on themselves.
Yep.
You can judge by the reaction, and umpires are human too. You can sway them. I mean, in every sport, we talk about it all the time. Head coaches tell me, make the official tell you no. Hey, you think you tagged him? Just sell it. Yep, pull it up. You caught it. Make them say, no, you did not. Because if you sell it, not all the time, but a little bit, that will help turn the tides in your favor.
What a battle from Anthony Sharkis here. Multiple foul balls on 3-2, making Pierce Banks really work. And this has been a game plan for a lot of the teams that face Banks. Work through 2 strike counts, continue to foul pitches off, climb his pitch count up into the 50s, low in the game, 60s through the 4th or 5th. And you should be in good shape later in the ball game.
Yeah, this is the first real long battle they've had.
Also, back to our point on selling a call, I think the only time that doesn't work is when you step out of the box on a 3-ball count and you try to sell a walk. Umpire will bring you right back.
That one, yes. That one, well, I guess it depends on the umpire, and you have to know who you're dealing with in that spot. But, yes, that's usually one that goes the wrong way.
The 3-2 again, this time a little bit low, and just as we said.
He sold it.
It's a 1-out walk to Anthony Sharkis, a man on, a man out for Nick Pastor.
Right on cue, Tom. Borderline pitch. Oh, it was low. It's the right call, but Sharkis didn't waste too much time tossing that bat.
First walk of the day for Banks or Fitzpatrick. Pierce did hit a batter back in the 2nd. That was Pastor, who's at the dish. Strike called on the outside corner. Good start.
The way the last 2 innings are gone, you feel like Grant Stevenson's going to have some magnetic pull for this baseball to try to go 6-4-3.
Shaded up that way. Maddox off the bag at 3rd, playing the lefty. Just 3 lefties in this lineup today for Westside: Liam, Pastor, and Cedeno. 0-1 as Banks comes right over the top. Foul ball. He's late on that at 92. Both these teams so good at making in-game adjustments. Banks on the mound as well as Pastor. It's quite a battle in between pitches when it comes to the mental side of things. Small lead for Sharkis over at first base. Sun continuing to set, posing issues for the right side of the diamond. Ball high.
He went fastball up high. Let's see something low. I want this pitch looking for a double play here.
Pastor is grounded into just 2 double plays on the season. Florentino leads the Mammoths with 3. There's the 1-2. Great pitch. Strike 3 looking to Pastor. Beauty of a breaking ball from Pierce Banks.
And Pastore can argue all he wants, but we have the benefit of advanced technology up here. That's a perfectly placed on the corner pitch. That's exactly what I want right there. If he swings at it, all he's probably going to do is hit it on the ground. He takes it, and it's strike 3. That's a picture-perfect pitch from Pierce Banks for his 3rd strikeout of the game.
Zach Weaver, one of those 3 victims. He was swinging. That was the first looking strikeout for Banks today. Weaver takes outside for ball 1. Just his 2nd at-bat of his young professional career. As we mentioned, played over in the Coastal Plains League collegiate baseball earlier and now has made the move to pro ball. 1-1 on the swing and miss.
Talk about a challenge pitch, 91 down the pipe, and Weaver couldn't really catch up to it.
And Banks knows he's a newbie. He's going to throw him his best stuff and challenge him with a pitch like that right there. 1-1 fastball, just a bit upstairs. I like the count as Weaver.
I like doubling down there.
Oh, yeah.
Goes to 92. That one borderline. The top of the strike zone is maybe the most ambiguous part of the zone, so some umpires might give him the call, but I like going right back to it.
2-1 on the way. Turning over the glove is Aviles to keep it in front. 3 balls and 1 strike now to Zach Weaver out of Lake Mary, Florida. Shadows have continued to cover the diamond, about 95% of the infield covered. Only right field and right center have any sunlight. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Inside, not by much. 2nd walk of the inning for Pierce Banks, has 2 on with 2 out.
That time it was Pierce Banks asking for a different call. He thought he caught the inner part of the plate, maybe by a hair. That's one that you see in some of the minor leagues, the challenge system. Maybe that gets overturned, but that's as borderline as it gets.
First time Zach Weaver will see the base paths in a Mammoth uniform. 2 on, 2 out for Drew Fleming. Gave it a ride last time, just came up short by a few feet in center field. Banks leaves the first pitch in the dirt. Fleming turns out of the way.
And I like Aviles just taking an extra beat or 2 to get that ball back, slowing Pierce Banks down a bit. He's been as erratic as he's been tonight here in the 4th.
21 hits in 24 games for Drew Fleming. Here's the 1-0. Check swing. Did he go around? Are they going to offer? They will, and he did. 1-1.
Oh, Drew can't believe it. That's a tough spot for that field umpire to make that call from. He doesn't have much better of an angle than the home plate umpire, and I think that's why Fleming didn't like it, because, I mean, let's be honest, from that vantage point, you can make your best guesstimate, but that's what it's going to be, is kind of an educated guess.
Yes. Even our center field camera would catch that angle, and we'd have kind of the same exact view as that field ump. Banks checks the runner twice. Now kicks and fires home on the 1-1. Foul ball out of play by Fleming. He's down.
He's seeing the ball real well out of the hand. I know that's a foul ball, but he caught a lot of the barrel. I'd be cautious with how this next pitch goes. I know you have 2 on with 2 away. You're ahead in the count. You don't necessarily have to put it in the zone. See if you can get Fleming to chase something.
He's a guy that just came out of the scene immediately with a ton of exit velocity and power. Not really struggling at any point in the beginning of his time here at Jimmy John's Field. 2-2 the count moves.
Well, no, all he's really known is success. I mean, when Concordia baseball after this next year and it's no longer a program, he'll be one of the all-time best to go through there. You'll look at the numbers, and Drew Fleming will forever be atop some of those categories at Concordia.
2-2 pitches up near the shoulders. We're going to push to full. 3rd 3-ball count that Banks has gone to this inning.
Pierce knows he missed that when he saw him tap in the chest.
Yeah.
He wanted that changeup low. Yeah, especially to a guy like Fleming. You don't want 78 sitting letter high.
2-1 lead for the Hoppers. They're protecting it right now with 2 on for Westside. Banks looking for a clutch strikeout. The 3-2 down and away. 3 walks have loaded the bases for the Hoppers this inning.
And there is a herd of Mammoths on the base path, waiting to stampede on hold.
Very uncharacteristic from Pierce Banks, but let's be honest, these Mammoths are making him work for these at-bats. Sharkus, about 9-10 pitches on his walk. Same thing with Fleming, they're fouling off multiple.
And Colby Seltzer went yard last time. If I'm Colby, I know you put one over the fence, probably taking a strike. I know the devil's advocate, and you say, oh, well, he's going to try to get that first pitch over, maybe try to ambush him. If you do that, it's one of those situations where if you get a hit, it's the right move. There's not a correct answer. It's really outcome-based. But right now, the way Pierce has been missing, he's walked 3 of the last 4, I'm going to make him throw me a strike.
He has not missed terribly. All his pitches pretty close to the zone, and Seltzer gives it a ride in the left center gap. This is going to score a couple. Shark is to the plate. Weaver will score. 2 out, 2-run double for Colby Seltzer, and the lead is back with Westside 3-2.
Well, he was playing devil's advocate, jumped over that first 90-mile-per-hour pitch that caught a lot of the plate. And how about the day Colby Seltzer's having? Home run, a double, 3 RBIs, and he's been all of the Mammoth offense, at least from the run production side.
Second hit of the ball game, second extra base hit for Westside. And on just those 2 swings, 3 runs cashed in by that man down there at second, number 15, Colby Seltzer. Here's Dotson looking to add a few more. He takes ball 1 high and inside.
It doesn't look like anyone's getting loose in that Diamond Hopper pen. I wouldn't have anyone, rushing to get ready, but maybe someone starting the arm routine, just getting a little stretched out, because Banks, the stuff we see now is not the same stuff I saw in innings 1 through 3.
Half swing there from Dotson makes it 1-1. Just eclipsed 60 pitches did Banks. Hoppers won't play again until Sunday, so they could expend a few extra arms today. And here Hank Dotson goes in the right center gap. Fleming will score. Scoring as well is Seltzer. A third extra base hit for the Mammoths. It's 5-2 with that swing.
That's a nice swing from Dotson. That one, not a bad pitch from Pierce Banks. That one right at the knees. Dotson just did a little more with it, taking it the other way, placing it perfectly in that right center gap. Back-to-back doubles, and the Mammoths are rolling.
Hank just picked up RBIs 4 and 5 on the year. That's his second double this season and 6th total hit. Bottom of the lineup coming through right now for Westside. The 7 and 8 hitters, Seltzer and Dotson, have combined for all 3 extra base hits and all 5 runs. Cedeno takes an off speed outside. 6 straight retired out of the gate for Banks. Started the third with a long ball from Seltzer in this inning after 3 straight 3 walks in the inning. Walked 3 of 4 batters. Seltzer and Dotson make him pay. Cedeno popped out in foul territory his first time. A ton of pop in this left-handed bat. In the dirt, nice block from Aviles. A 4-run 4th inning has given the Westside Woolly Mammoths a lead. Banks trying to end this inning after 4 straight base runners. Breaking ball, called strike, make it 2-2.
Yeah, needs to stop the bleeding right now. Hey, you go in the 5th, down 3, not ideal but workable. Another run comes in to score, and now you feel like the game's really starting to unravel, especially if it's on another extra base hit.
Cedeno wags that bat over the left shoulder. The 2-2 again blocked up from Aviles. A 3rd full count this inning for Pierce Banks.
Now that pitch count getting close to 70. He was cruising along through those first 3 innings.
Mammoths had a game plan they've executed extremely well so far today. Full count, 2 outs. Cedeno chases upstairs, and it's a strikeout for out number 3. 4-run 4th inning thanks to Colby Seltzer, who delivers a 2-run double, and Hank Dotson says ditto. 5-2, we go to the 5th. You're watching USPBL Baseball.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. FSBcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things.
Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
You know, they say, losing hope, that's the real disaster. Last year, Tropical Storm Fred sent a devastating wall of water and debris down this river. And when the waters receded, Belfour was here. Not just to rebuild, but to help restore the life of this community. Belfour, restoring more than property.
Hank Dotson extending the lead. Opposite field double in the gap. These Westside Woolly Mammoths came to play today. They're 7-2 on the year against Eastside, and they're looking to keep it going for win number 8. And it would be their 19th win of the season, closing in on 20.
That's a big inning from the Mammoths. It felt like both pitchers had settled in, but what kills you? Walks, 3 in the inning, and then those 2 doubles back-to-back. Hey, on their own, not great, but a run or 2 might come in to score. With the 3 walks, that puts up a 4 spot in the 4th.
8 batters came to the plate in that bottom of the 4th for Westside. Here's a breaking ball called strike to even up the count to Luis Aviles. Ground out to shortstop last time for Luis. .5'11", 220. Played college ball at a few different universities. Went to Georgia C. Wallace State, CC, in Selma, Alabama. Then attended Rice, and then Tulane. He's out of Palmetto Bay, Florida.
Rice and Tulane are a lot easier on the tongue.
Yeah. Instead of GCCC. Swing and a miss from Aviles. It scoots away from Dotson, and it's going to be a drop third strike that Aviles reaches on.
And that's 100% a pass ball as well.
Yep. Just squeaks by Dotson. Nice off speed there from Fitzpatrick. Nips off the glove, and it's a leadoff man aboard for the Hoppers, trailing by a few. Bailey Martin will come to the plate with some mob deep. Ground out to shortstop as well for Martin last time. Couple of putouts for both shortstops today on opposite sides. No movement in either bullpen still as we enter into the middle innings. Breaking pitch over the head of Martin. He ducks out of the way. Three home runs for Martin on the year on 14 RBIs, 23 total hits for him. Make it 3 balls and no strikes now from Carter Fitzpatrick.
Can't let that drop third strike frustrate you. Missing 3 in a row to the 9-hole hitter, not a recipe for success.
And this is where Fitzpatrick came out of the game in his first start, as that strike splits the plate. It was 4 good innings from Carter against the Beavers back on August 3rd. In the 5th, he walked the leadoff batter, then gave up 3 straight singles. And that's when he was pulled. 3-1, make it 3-2. Great battle from the righty.
Mammoths only have 1 more game this weekend. That's tomorrow, so you don't need to extend the bullpen maybe like you would some weekend. Surprised there's not someone getting loose with him.
Martin keeps it alive, 3-2. Fitzpatrick, one of the newer arms that's going to be fresh in midseason form at the end of August when we head into playoffs. We talked early in the contest, Brady. Westside just needs to stay consistent, play their brand of baseball, and they should sit there at the top. But earlier this week, having some conversations with a few different guys, and that number 1 seed is sometimes a pro but also a con. just because you don't see live pitching as hitters for a week. Fitzpatrick gets a strikeout, 1 gone with 1 on.
That's a great bounce back, by the way, for Fitzpatrick. Is he was down 3-0 and in danger of putting 2 on with nobody out. Battles back, gets the punch out. But yeah, the 1 seed is a very interesting proposition. I think it's all about how you approach it. The first time you had to deal with it last year, like the Mammoths did, you have one game where the team that's coming in has played at least 9 innings and is shaking off a little bit of rust. But the pro is obviously you only have to play you're in the championship game, and I think you can find workarounds to see some high-level pitching. You get the pitching machine out. You get things like that to try to keep the rust away. And the other thing, you're not sitting around for an extra week or two. Hey, it's, 1, 2, 3 days in a row for the playoffs. They go quick.
Cornwell skies one nearly out of play. It almost finds the seats. 2 balls and 1 strike. And it also, if you're the champion or number 1 seed going to the championship, you can throw whoever you want on the mound.
That's the other part, yes. Now, I know you don't like sitting around whatever, but yeah, you're probably facing the team's number 3, where you have the full bullpen at your disposal. Hey, if your number 1 isn't feeling it, you can get your second guy up and going, and maybe you bring him in the 3rd inning if you need to.
2-1 to Cornwell, cut on and missed. Levels the count at 2 apiece. It was a pass ball from Dodson leading to a drop 3rd strike that Aviles reached on. Fitzpatrick came back with a strikeout to Martin, battled back from 3-0. Cornwell chokes up on the bat, left side, grounds 1 to second base. This could be 2. Walker flips over to Seltzer. He guns to first, and it's a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. 14th of the year for the middle infield of Westside. We played 4.5 innings of baseball. It's a 5-2 lead for Westside after a big 4th. You're watching USPBL baseball from Jimmy John's Field.
Andy Appleby. I'm the owner and CEO of the USPBL. We're a 4-team league. We play at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Tryon has a wealth of resources that we can tap into when unique HR issues arise, even including visa and immigration issues related to our players. Tryon has helped us to get our baseball season up and running every year and has made a difficult task much easier.
That's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Fifth Third Bank. Yeah, it's a quirky name. But here's the thing. 5/3 equals 166.7%. So we put 166.7% into everything we do. Like automatically getting you your paycheck up to 2 days early. Giving you well-deserved extra time to avoid overdraft fees. And helping you borrow from your future self. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Welcome back into Jimmy John's Field alongside Brady Beaton. I'm Tom Cavanaugh. It's a 5-2 ball game in favor of the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Number 1 team versus the number 2 team in the standings. And it's Eastside and Utica tied up for second place at 2 games back. If Eastside's able to crawl together a little bit of a comeback in the middle and late innings, they're going to pick up a big win. But right now, the Mammoths are clicking on all cylinders on both sides of the diamond.
Yeah, that double play really took the wind out of the sails. We were talking about it 30 seconds before the double play. They were 1 pitch away from a walk, putting runners on first and second, top of the order coming up. Instead, what happens? Punch out, ground ball, inning over. Mammoths head to the bottom of the 5th, still with the 3-run lead.
We also mentioned Fitzpatrick coming out here for just his second start. Does the big crowd rattle you a little bit? Obviously not, working back from 3-0, getting a strikeout and rolling a double play right afterwards. It'll be Jake Walker, the leadoff hitter, leading off the 5th, followed by Fox Liam and Anthony Sharkus. We do have time on the field as there is a group being escorted out in left center field.
One of many.
One of many. It was, I think on Sunday, Brady, that there was a fly ball hit to left center field. I think Kyle Schmack was out there to make the catch, and as he caught the ball, he banged into the wall, and the door swung open.
Yeah, those doors get open and shut quite a lot out there. That can't be a good feeling when the wall leaves behind you.
Banks ready to get his 5th inning going. He's given up 5 runs today on just 3 hits. He has also walked 3 and hit 1 batter. Walker's 0 for 2 so far today, a line out and a ground out. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Swing and a tap foul right between the legs of Aviles. Nothing in 2 and approaching 70 pitches is Pierce Banks with a little bit of stretching happening in the Eastside bullpen. Nobody ready to come in the game just yet.
That tells me the game plan, hey, hopefully Pierce can get through these next 3 outs and get a new arm for the 6th.
0-2 pitch, opposite field swing, foul. Walker just a tad bit late on that upper fastball at 91. Seeing the ball out of the hand of Banks as well, I can understand why guys are late. He comes right over the top, but you don't see that pitch come out of the hand until the very last second.
And again, if you're thinking curveball or something off speed, that 90-some will get on you in a hurry.
There's a breaking pitch way outside, 1-2. Walker has come on in the last couple of weeks and played a very solid second base in the leadoff spot here for Westside. Ball in the dirt makes it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pierce just spiked that one. Just a few more meetings between these 2 teams this year. Only 3 weeks of baseball left before we get into playoffs in the first week of September.
USPBL, hey, they cram it in. You're never going to come here and be cold. Mm-hmm. It's basically the summer months. They're not going to overextend it, and they fit a lot of baseball into that time.
Line drive cracked into center field by Jake Walker to start the bottom of the 5th inning. Great swing.
91 down the tailpipe. It's going to get sent right back at you more often than not. Walker didn't miss it, and he sent it back faster than it came in at 96 off the bat.
He was late last time. Made the in-game adjustment. That was the first non-extra base hit for the Mammoths here in the 5th inning. Here's a man that can do some damage with an extra base hit in Fox Liam. Wow. Pick over to first base has Jake Walker picked off Pierce Banks with a snipe. That was quick. As soon as Walker took his original lead before a pitch was even thrown to Fox Liam, he gets cut down. Pierce has got a quick move. Ferguson was all over it to apply the tag.
That's one way to get the momentum back in your favor.
Mm-hmm. Now Fox is working with nobody on and 1 gone. Half swing definitely went around. 0 for 2 day for Liam. Ground out and a pop out. So we mentioned a couple of long balls last Sunday. He's really been swinging the bat a lot better these past few weeks as he sends one to center. Rose in a few steps. That ball hangs up for out number 2.
Just a little out in front, chased one away, and still got the barrel on it, but not the pitch you're going to do a lot of damage with.
So instead of a man on, a man out, it's 2 gone, nobody on for Anthony Sharkus. 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Came in on the Colby Seltzer 2-run double last frame. 75 pitches now for Pierce Banks. First pitch swung on and chopped to shortstop. Great play from Stevenson. What a throw. My goodness, Grant Stevenson's playing a heck of a shortstop today. They cut down the runner Walker on a pickoff, and it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 5th inning. Still 5-2 Mammoths. We go to the 6th on the USPBL network.
The perfect match. It's what so many of us are looking for. When it comes to getting a mortgage, how can you find the one that's perfect for you? Start at mortgagematchup.com. Because the only way to get a mortgage that's easier and more affordable is to find a local home loan expert first. Go to mortgagematchup.com today.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, where you've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in this exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you, because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much, because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
Two Mammoths. We'll take a look at this Eastside Diamond Hopper 17-16 team. Look at those numbers. 256 average, a 4.46 team ERA, a little down in home runs compared to Westside, and 233 strikeouts compared to 174 walks. I know the walks are high, but they're doing a good job in the strikeout category as well.
And you mentioned all the way back in the pregame, a lot of those walks come from the bullpen. I know the 3 walks from Pierce Banks were coming together, were all very clustered, so that made it a little worse. But that's been the difference. You look at the line score, each side 4 hits, no errors, but those 3 walks have led to the 5 runs for the Mammoths and only 2 for the Diamond Hoppers.
First pitch to Grant Stevenson is a ball in the dirt. Carter Fitzpatrick still going steady on the bump as there's some light throwing now beginning in the Westside bullpen down the left field line. 1-0 pitch to Stevenson, sent up into center field for a leadoff single. Good start for Eastside as they're trailing by 3.
Good day to be Grant Stevenson. Defensively, I mean, alone, even if he went 0 for today, would have been a solid game. But add a hit to there, he's just had a very nice day. This is one you want to think back on when you're in a bit of a rut. Tonight, August 8th? August 8th's been a good day for Grant Stevenson.
First pitch to Marcoux, way out ahead of it. Little half-hearted swing, makes it 0-1 to start. Stevenson with a beautiful high bounce shorthand pick for that last out in the 5th. It's a really tough play to make as it's taken a really high bounce and he just caught it and met it right on the ground.
And he made it look routine. That's the thing that I guess makes good players is plays that are not simple. They make look like they've done it 1,000 times. And yeah, this is just how you do it. You just put your glove out, grab it on the run, throw it over. You get behind the ball and do things like that.
An 0 for 2 day for Noah Marcoux. Feather in the cap of Fitzpatrick if he can set him down for a 3rd straight time. Breaking pitch at the knees, a little bit low. 2 ground outs, both to the right side. Took one to first, his original at-bat, grounded to second in the 4th. Very wide open stance as he comes closed as the pitch is delivered. 3-1 is the count now. And last time we saw Fitzpatrick in this situation, he worked back and struck out Matt Garrick. Or I'm sorry, Bailey Martin back in the 5th.
This is a dangerous bat. You don't want to get me over pitch.
He leaves ball 4 outside. First 2 aboard for the Hoppers here in the 6th inning. Got to start to create something here. Head coach Taylor Jellikowski staying in the dugout as there will be warm-up pitches being thrown off the bullpen mound now.
And the flag in center field's laying pretty still, but you see the sails picking a little up in the Diamond Hopper dugout where maybe a little momentum, another opportunity, 2 on, nobody out. Your 4 hitters coming up. Ben Ferguson yet to be retired in this game. Chance, a base hit, score a run, get a little bit of mojo going as, like you said, there's a little bit of action in that bullpen. If you can chase Fitzpatrick, get to the bullpen. There you see Connor Tomasic getting ready.
Breaking ball, first pitch to Ferguson is high. Tomasic freshly from the Utica Unicorns has pitched just twice for Westside since joining. Make it 2 balls, no strikes. Fitzpatrick wavering on control here in the 6th.
Yeah, this might be his last batter if he walks him pretty quickly, or at all for that matter.
I saw Tomasic tip the cap in the bullpen, so that's a signal that he's ready to go whenever they need him.
And these pitches aren't missing close.
No. 3-0 now to Ferguson, who will gladly take a walk. It would be the 3rd time that he would reach today. A double and a single with a run scored.
And you keep that bat on your left shoulder.
There's a strike from Fitz, trying to battle back here. Matt Gehrig would be next. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Make it strike 2. Second time in 2 innings, Fitzpatrick has battled back from a 3-0. On the way, Ferguson skies it in the air to left field. Shallow left field. Coming over Weaver. He cannot make the catch. A little bit of a Willie Mays type of grab there as he tried to swipe at it behind his back.
Yeah, that was a tough one, and over the shoulder, and not one that has the normal arc. That one was hit a mile in the air. That one's almost coming straight down, but you have to go over the shoulder. That is a tough, tough ask for Weaver.
So we'll do it again. Full count one more time. Fitzpatrick battled all the way back and got the pop-up. Just did not stay fair or really playable for any infielder. The 3-2 is high and outside, and it's a second straight walk and third consecutive base runner for the Hoppers to lead off the 6th inning, and here comes head coach Taylor Jellikowski.
Going to be on the bullpen to preserve this lead here in the 6th inning. I think Fitzpatrick just ran out of gas.
Yeah, that's what happened. He went an inning longer than he did back on the 3rd. Went 4 1/3 innings, got roughed up in the 5th, and this time he completes 5, gives up 2 runs on 5 hits, and it was the 6th inning that was his kryptonite tonight. Jellikowski will take the ball. Fitzpatrick's day is done. We're going to send to a break as Connor Tomasic takes the bump. Turbo will be the first in relief for the Mammoths. 5-2, bases loaded for the Hoppers, knocking on the door, trailing by 3. You're watching USPBL Baseball. We'll be right back.
The perfect match. It's what so many of us are looking for. When it comes to getting a mortgage, how can you find the one that's perfect for you? Start at mortgagematchup.com. Because the only way to get a mortgage that's easier and more affordable is to find a local home loan expert first. Go to mortgagematchup.com today.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, where you've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in this exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you, because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much, because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
Coming in a tough spot. Down by 3 runs are the Hoppers, knocking on the door with the bases loaded. Connor Tomasic will take the bump first in relief.
Connor Tomasic on the year. So with the Westside Woolly Mammoths, doesn't have a lot to work with. But you see that 2.13 innings, so hasn't pitched a lot, but on the year pitched a lot for the Unicorns. So that's not totally conducive to what his numbers were on the season, but struggled early with the Mammoths. Hey, he's going to need a ground ball in the worst way here to start this relief appearance.
Tomasic leads the league in appearances. He had 20 appearances over with the Unicorns, and over here he's making his 3rd total appearance. Connor was awesome. He had 4 saves in 24 innings for Utica before coming over to Westside. Struck out 33 and walked 15 in that time. I mean, you can't ask for a tougher spot to be in right here if you're Connor Tomasic. Nobody out, bases loaded.
No, it's the thing nightmares are made of for relievers. Bases loaded, nobody out. And he'll come at you, a 4-seam fastball, a changeup, and a slider. So pretty standard mix for the righty.
First pitch to Matt Gehrig outside. He does have a grand slam on the year. Came back 2 weekends ago. Gehrig 0 for 2. A pair of swinging strikeouts for him so far today.
Don't need a grand slam. Hey, get the run in. Cut into this lead.
Strike called, 1-1.
Perfectly placed fastball in the low inside corner.
Only a few guys have one this year.
Well, I mean, how many
Beadle in the
guys
All-Star
have
game,
had opportunities
Gehrig,
for him?
Several. 1-1 in the dirt picked.
I mean, you think about it through the course of a season, how often does a guy get to bat with the bases loaded? Like, that is a rarity, and then in a pitcher-dominant league.
Fleming 2 for 5 with the bases loaded. Florentino has 3 at-bats. Garbasic was 1 for 4. Gehrig comes up empty, 2-2. Great pitch from Tomasic down the heart of the plate at 91 miles an hour. He knew he had him on that one.
That was a long, late swing from Gehrig, and he might be in his own head. He has not been swinging the bat well tonight.
Gehrig just 1 for 5 with the bases loaded. That was a home run. Rides high and inside with the fastball, 3-2.
So, yeah, you're talking, what, now 3 months of baseball? You've gotten maybe 1 at-bat a month, 2 if you're lucky a month to get an at-bat with the bases loaded.
Schellenbarger, 2 for 10. He's come up 10 times with the bases loaded as Gehrig goes down on strikes for the 3rd time today. First out of the inning and a big one with still the bases completely loaded.
Yeah, it just hasn't been Gehrig's night so far tonight. 0 for 3, 3 Ks. It'll be up to Zeb Rose to try to push across a run. You get Rose out now. Next thing you know, hey, you can't get a fly ball. You can't get a sacrifice in there to push at least one across.
Rose is 2 for 4 on the year with the bases loaded. Takes ball 1 inside. RBI double in the 4th inning gave the Hoppers a 2-1 lead. And then in the bottom of the 4th, Westside returned the favor with a 4 spot. Ground ball to shortstop. Here's Seltzer. Quick flip over to Walker to first base. How about these Mammoths? Connor Tomasic gets the job done. A strikeout and rolls a 6-4-3 double play. Seltzer to Walker to Fleming to end it. Mammoths get out of the jam. They still lead 5-2. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. This is your home for USPBL baseball.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corewell Health.
Double step.
Nick Pastor, Zach Weaver, and Drew Fleming will start us off here in the bottom of the 6th against who else? Pierce Banks back out for another frame. He gave up a hit in the 5th, picked off a runner, and sat down the Mammoths 1-2-3 alongside Brady Beat and Tom Cavanaugh from the USPBL Network. It's been a good game so far in favor of Westside. They've just done the hitting so far today.
You know, that's a bold call to have Pierce come back out, maybe a very short leash. Hey, you give up a base runner, you're coming out, but that's a lot of faith in Pierce. I know that 4th inning was rough on him, but besides that, he's actually had a pretty nice day when you take a deep dive on it. And there was the 3 walks that really made the night look worse than maybe he'd like it to be.
Yeah, just 4 hits allowed, but with those 3 walks, as you mentioned, that just maximizes that run total for him. And he's going to face the heart of this lineup. 4-5-6 batter, starting with Pastor, who is 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch today. He was caught stealing back in the 2nd. Would have been the 50th stolen base on the year for Westside if Pastor nabbed that bag. Connor Tomasic, man, bases loaded, nobody out for the Mammoths on the mound, coming in relief, strikes out Gehrig and rolls a double play on Zeb Rose. First pitch to Pastor is at the feet. Struck out looking last time on a breaking pitch down and away. He didn't love the call.
It was a perfect pitch, too.
Also approaching 80 pitches is Banks with more movement in the Hopper bullpen. Cut and a miss, make it 1-1.
Fastball at 89, a little lower on the velocity than we've seen Pierce all night long, but that's a well-placed fastball and still got it by Pastor.
1-1 on the way, swing and a miss again, 90 miles an hour down the heart of the plate.
Come with it a third straight time, or you try to pull the string after 2 straight late swings.
It'll be pitch 80 coming up in just a moment. 5-2 Mammoths were in the bottom of the 6th inning. The difference was a 4-run fourth from Westside. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Upper fastball. Same 90-mile-an-hour pitch. Sits down Pastor for out number 1.
Next up. That's 5 Ks on the day for Pierce Banks. Not where his best has been, but a very solid outing. Again, walks, especially when you stack walks on top of walks, make it tough because those 3 and then the 2 doubles right after have been the big scarlet letter for Pierce Banks in this one.
Banks 1 punch out away from 60 on the season. He would be the 2nd pitcher in the USPBL this season to do that behind Greg Lokinen. Weaver takes strike 1. A walk, a run scored, and a strikeout swinging for Zach as he lines one to left field. Welcome to the USPBL, Zach Weaver. 105 miles an hour off the bat, a solo shot. That ball was destroyed.
Wow. That was an assault of a baseball.
I thought Drew Fleming hit the hardest ball so far this year. 105 takes over that number. Wow, Zach Weaver in his debut goes deep.
That was projected to be about 350, and that ball never got more than 15 feet off the ground. That was not a towering fly ball. That was a frozen rope missile. He got every stitch of it. My goodness. That was, that's one you're going to be thinking about for a while, and I think Drew Fleming wanted to answer with his own. He about swung out of his shoes on that one.
Whatever fan made that catch out in left field, do the right deed and give that ball back to Zach Weaver for his first professional home run. That ball bounces up off the glove of Aviles and nearly catches Fleming in the nose.
I don't think anyone catches this. I think this is hit so hard that everyone just tries to get out of the way in the Chevy Pavilion. You see the one fan stand up. It landed just to the left of him. Unless you had a glove, you'd best be advised to get out of that ball's way. Otherwise, it's going to hurt.
First hit in the USPBL is a home run for Zach Weaver, and here's a base hit between the 5-6 hole for Drew Fleming. Westside's the best offensive team, and they're putting it on display on Thursday night.
Shortstop, number 15, Colby Seltzer.
Pierce Banks just gave up his 2nd home run of the year. He gave up 8 doubles so far this season, now 10 doubles with those 2 today. But now 3 total homers given up from Pierce after the 2 bombs, 1 from Seltzer in the 3rd, and Weaver just went deep. Foul ball by Seltzer, a 2-for-2 day with a homer and a 2-run double. Can't ask for much better through 2 plate appearances. Very small lead at first for Fleming. Here's the 0-1 on the way to Colby. Lines it back into the road. Nearly hit a car. It's now 6-2 Mammoths. They've scored 6 runs in the last 4 innings. Went 1-2-3 back-to-back in the 1st and 2nd. Seltzer opened up the scoring to lead off the 3rd with a solo shot. 0-2 on the way. Down and outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes on the off speed. That's now 33 home runs on the season for Westside. And that's in 31 games.
They're a fun team to watch.
Yeah. The 1-2 was swung on and missed. Seltzer finally is put away for the first time today. That's out number 2.
Yeah, you come to see a Mammoth game very, very rarely are you going to leave and not be thoroughly entertained with a lot of on-field fireworks.
Well, hey, even the one that I attended as a fan, it was a 0-0 game going bottom 9. Brady, you were on the call with that with Alex, and Drew Fleming, the hero, with a walk-off shot. So even though we saw zeros all the way through 8.5 innings, we still left the ballpark happy.
Well, I mean, you look at their lineup. I mean, Liam, Sharkus, now Weaver apparently is going to just assault baseballs. Colby Seltzer today. Hank Dodson's opposite field double was awesome. They have guys that can hit the ball hard and spray it all over the park.
Weaver did have 14 homers his last year, this past season at Mars Hill. Quick pick over to first base. Fleming standing up. This is pitch 90 from Pierce Banks. Dodson pulls it on the ground. Fair. Tough play for Maddox as he slips on the line and the ball trickles away in foul territory.
Yeah, I don't think there was any way Maddox was making that throw, even if he gloves it cleanly. Just knocking it down, keeping it in front. So we get another look at it. Just making sure it doesn't get by him. Like, that's going to be a tough throw anyway, but keeping it in front or at least near him, not letting it trickle down the line and make it extra bases was a nice job by Maddox.
I'm going to rule that a hit. Took a little bit of an in-between hop on Todd. He's been so good down at third base. That one play does not tell the story on how amazing he's been at the hot corner. 2 on, 2 out for Jose Cedeno. Pop out and a strikeout today for the lefty. Swing and a miss way out in front. Out of Cumana, Venezuela, Jose Cedeno. Played earlier in the Phillies organization back in 2019 and 2018. Pulls one on the ground to second base. Gobbled up by Martin. Quick flip to first ends the inning. But how about Zach Weaver in his USPBL debut? Solo homer. Extends the lead for Westside at 6-2. We go to the 7th inning. This is your home for USPBL baseball.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, we've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in this exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
Seventh inning of action as Connor Tomasic gets back on the bump for Westside. It's a 6-2 lead for the Mammoths. 1 in the third, 4 runs in the fourth, and Zach Weaver added with 1 in the sixth just a moment ago. Out hitting those Eastside Diamond Hoppers that have just scrapped together 2 runs. From the USPBL Network alongside Brady Beat and Tom Cavanaugh entering the latter third of this ball game. Tomasic was in a big spot last frame, and he got the job done in just 2 batters.
Well, 2 straight innings that have ended on double plays. Felt like the Diamond Hoppers, when they look back at this game, they're just going to say, man, we had opportunities to at least get back in the game in the middle innings. Now, they still have 3 more cracks at it, but they let some opportunities go by the wayside. I mean, bases loaded, nobody out, strikeout, double play. Yeah, that's the one that's going to be a little frustrating.
You mentioned those ground ball double plays. 26 now for the offense of Eastside. They've grounded into 26 double plays compared to just 15 from the Mammoths.
Well, even when the Diamond Hoppers were going good and they were scoring a bunch of runs, they still left a lot of guys on base.
Oh, yeah.
And that has been a point of frustration for Ryan Kottke, the skipper for the Diamond Hoppers, is, man, they get guys on base, they have traffic on the base paths, but it feels like that clutch hit doesn't come as often as you'd like it to. Obviously, you're not going to bring in guys every single time they get on base, but they're usually good for one guy left on base an inning.
Todd Maddox will lead things off. Just did some quick math. 53 extra runners left on base for the Hoppers compared to these Westside Woolly Mammoths. 271 runners left on base this year for Eastside.
Yeah, and their record coming in this game is what, 17-16, so that's you said 271 runners left on base in 33 games, so that's quick math. They're not all 9-inning games, but that in 297 potential innings. Yeah, that's take off some for the 6-inning doubleheaders. Yeah, you're looking at about a base runner an inning.
Maddox starts off in the right way, 3-0. Todd leads the league with 8 doubles, 0 for 2 with a fly out and a line out. Tomasic catches the inside corner, 3-1. Tomasic was in the closer role for Utica most of the time, as we mentioned, his 4 saves. He is now first out of the bullpen for Westside tonight. Pulls the fastball into the other batter's box. Lead-off walk. 3rd straight inning that a Hopper has led off a board.
Next up, the catcher, number 8, Luis Aviles.
It's been all in different ways, too. Drop, third strike, single, and now a walk. Something that the Mammoths have avoided. That's the only the second time that we've seen, the third time we've seen a walk from the Diamond Hopper batters. They got to take advantage of it. Can't see another double play ball here if you want to get back into this one.
Nearly took the double play ball out of the equation. Just snagged at the last second from Hank Dodson. That could have easily gotten back to the backstop. 0 for 2 for Luis Aviles. Reached on the drop, 3rd strike, pass ball in the 5th. He'll smack one out of play, foul, 1-1. Aviles with a heck of a throw behind the plate earlier today to catch Nick Pastor trying to steal a base. The wide frame behind the dish, that's got a ton of arm velocity and power. Transition was quick. The 1-1 tapped down the 3rd baseline, foul, make it 1-2. A lot of movement on this 4-seam fastball out of the hand of Connor Tomasic as well. It's one guy that player development highlights so often on social media and being able to hone his craft, moving on to the next level. 1-2, not close. Dodson makes the catch, evening it up. Unicorns would gain a half game on these Hoppers if the score stays the same. That would be in competition for second place. Aviles lines one into left field. Sharkus coming in. Did he make the catch? No, they call it down. Single for Luis Aviles, has 2 aboard with nobody out.
Heck of an effort by Sharkus out and left. It just got under his glove. Too much topspin off the bat of Aviles. And again, first 2 guys are aboard. If the Diamond Hoppers come up empty, I think there's going to be a lot of guys pulling their hair out in that dugout, because they have had now for the 3rd straight inning, really the 4th straight inning, opportunities to put up multiple runs. The only one they put up since that 1st inning was the RBI double from Zeb Rose back in inning number 4.
Bailey Martin will take strike 1. Already 5 runners left on base today for Eastside. Here's a swing and a miss, making nothing in 2.
And that's a fastball that catches a lot of the zone.
They're going to try to back pick down to second. Maddox had a very large secondary lead, was back safely.
Always a bold call as a catcher trying to back pick at second, because if the batter reaches it, it was Maddox that was actually dancing around a little bit. Looked like he was trying to bait the throw, and when he got it, I'm surprised he didn't take off for third.
0-2 pitch is called for strike 3. Martin is sat down quickly. 1 gone with 2 on. Connor Tomasic picks up his second strikeout.
Number 23, Colin Cornwell.
Perfectly placed pitch on the outside corner at the knees. Martin, all he can do is look at it. Second time he's gone down on strikes today. Cornwell, a 1-for-3 day today. Opposite field doubled on the left field line to start our contest.
Tomasick's been painting corners ever since that no-out single. Nice job against Martin. Starts off Cornwell. Beautiful pitch at the knees.
0-1 to him, high and inside, bending out of the way is Colin. Caleb Rush just went down to the bullpen for Eastside. Nothing going for the Mammoths right now. Tomasick taps that front foot, sets on the first base side of the rubber at the belt. 1-1 pitches in the dirt. Grounded into a double play, bounced out to first and doubled. Came around to score in that first inning. It was a 2-1 lead for Eastside before a 4-run fourth. Mammoths added a 6th run in the 6th. 3 balls and 1 strike now to Cornwell. 10 total hits in 9 games for Colin. The 3-1 catches the inside corner. He was ready to toss the bat.
Throwback to a few innings ago, tried to sell it, but that's a nice pitch. 88 right on the inner part of the plate. That's a great 3-1 pitch from Tomasick.
I can't say we didn't talk about it. I mean, that was a perfect example in the 3-2, not close in the right-handed batter's box. Second walk of the inning for Connor has the bases loaded. Second straight inning, the bases are loaded with less than 2 outs for the Hops.
On the one hand, the Diamond Hoppers have to feel they have to get a clutch hit at some point. But if you're the Mammoths, you're Taylor Jelenkowski, man, doesn't it feel like you're playing with fire? Oh. That you're tempting fate, putting these many base runners on board?
First pitch now to Grant Stevenson, who singled his last time, is down and outside 1-0.
If we see another Diamond Hopper double play at the end of the inning, you might see a bat and a half.
1-0 in the dirt as well. Tomasick faced just 2 batters with the bases loaded and nobody out in the 6th. A strikeout and a double play to end it. He has now walked 2 of the last 4 batters he has faced, including a single and a strikeout. The 2-0 catches the outside corner, battling back.
Stevenson trying to be patient. Tomasick's been a little erratic here in the inning. That's not a pitch you want to offer out, especially on 2-0. Nice pitch by Connor.
Fly ball sent out to center field by Stevenson. Back goes Pastor. He makes the catch. Tagging from third base will be Maddox. Nowhere to go for Aviles, but it's a sac fly and a 6-3 ball game. Chipping away are the Hoppers in the latter third of our game.
And if nothing else, it feels like you broke the seal. And okay, we pushed across a run after the last 3 innings, threatening and threatening and threatening. You got 1 across, and almost feels like you can take a deep breath. All right, we didn't ground into a double play. We are going to at least get 1 across here. And now you have a big bat, Noah Marcoux, that can find a gap and put up a crooked number.
Third sacrifice fly of the year for Stevenson. That was also his 9th RBI. It's a big run, cutting it to just a 3-run ball game. And if anybody's going to score in bunches besides these Mammoths, it's Eastside. Offensively, the top 2 teams, also in the standings as well. Marcoux lines one, caught at first by Fleming. His 6'6" frame didn't have to jump very high, but still a snazzy play for out number 3. It's stretch time here at Jimmy John's Field. Sac fly from Grant Stevenson makes it a 6-3 ball game. The Genesis Credit Union Take Me Out to the Ball Game is next on the USPBL Network.
Make your move. with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
The day is done for Pierce Banks as we enter the bottom of the 7th inning. It's now time for Justin Silva, the tall right-hander, first out of the bullpen for Eastside, trailing by 3.
He's going to try to keep this deficit right where it's at. Justin Silva on the year, just 9 innings of work, has 12 walks, 10 Ks in that time. Those are the numbers you don't like. The one you do like, only a 125 batting average against, 1 extra base hit off of Silva in those 9 innings of work.
Final line for Pierce Banks. He goes 6 innings, gives up 6 runs, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts on 7 hits. The Mammoths got to him relatively early, scoring 5 runs, spanning the 3rd and 4th. Zach Weaver chipped in with a solo shot in the 6th. And it was just a lot of barrels from the best team offensively in the USPBL.
And again, the job, keep it right where it's at. You finally got one back. You're somewhat within striking distance with it only being a 3-run game. You don't want to give that run back, and any momentum you may have worked up in the last half inning here in the bottom of the 7th.
Looking for some insurance of these Mammoths. They'll start it off with the leadoff man, Jake Walker, Fox Liam, and Anthony Sharkus. Last time out for Justin Silva, he was in relief late in the ball game against the Beavers. Walked the first batter that he faced and then followed that up with 2 strikeouts. Fell behind both of those strikeouts 3-0 and worked back with a nasty slider, got both swinging. So he's got swing and miss action and ability. Got to fill up the zone here to start against Jake Walker. It's 0-1. Caleb Rush, as we said, making his way down into the right field bullpen for the Hoppers. Could see him next. 0-1, outside in the other box. Walker today is 1 for 3, singled up the middle his last time.
Hit it hard last time, too. Found the barrel.
He got 91 back-to-back pitches, did not miss on the second. Big undercut swing and a miss, make it 1-2.
Yeah, he pulled off that one big time.
Silva with just 3 earned runs so far this year. He does put runners on base, but he's able to work out of jams. So you see those 12 walks, Brady mentioned him earlier, 2 more than the number of strikeouts. Walker checks his swing. Did he go? No. 2-2, the count will move.
Held up at the absolute last moment, but even with that not being the strikeout, if you're Silva, you have to like what you're seeing. The check swing on a pitch that wasn't particularly close means Walker's not seeing it very well out of the hand.
Silva sets, swing and a miss. Walker goes down for out number 1. First time he has been sat down on strikes today. It's a good start for Justin. Do not want to allow the Mammoths to chip away with a few more and add to that lead, gaining some more insurance and putting it out of reach when you could load the bases up like the Hoppers have. And also, I think they would have liked a few more in that inning with the bases loaded, 1 out, but I mean, they'll take what they can get at this point.
You get one back, you're likely going to face a different arm coming in the 8th. Looks like for the Mammoths, it's the lefty Meyer warming up. So you're going to see a lefty coming up soon, a different arm. You've been threatening, and now you got one across. Feels like, all right, maybe we can parlay this into multiple innings in a row with runs. But again, it starts with Silva putting up a goose egg here in the bottom of the 7th.
Starts out Fox Liam 2-0. 6 runs on 7 hits, no errors for Westside. Eastside with 3 runs on 6 hits with 0 errors as well. Liam holds the bat away from his chest, high over the shoulder. 3 balls and no strikes. It's been a quiet day for Fox at the plate. 0 for 3 with a pair of balls in the air and a ground out to shortstop. Silva sets at the chest, the 3-0. Top of the zone. for a strike.
And these two batters have kind of shown the dichotomy of Silva. That first batter in Walker handled him pretty well, got the swinging strikeout. Now fell behind 3-0. At least forces a fifth pitch here.
Swing and a miss, make it 3-2. Liam going for gold on that one.
Heck, just in this at-bat, you've seen the difference. First three pitches weren't very close. Next two, very competitive, and it comes down to this one.
Tough guy to get out in Fox Liam. Walks more than he Ks. The 3-2 pitch outside for ball 4. That's why he has one of the highest strikeout walk rates, in the league, and he picks up yet another right there. That was walk number 30 on the season for Fox. That's impressive.
It is very impressive, and when you couple that with his actual bat-to-ball skills and his average and home runs, he might be one of those dark horse MVP guys who maybe doesn't have the flashiest numbers. I know the last week has been very kind to him, but throughout the season, he has just been steady as it goes, and I like what Fox Liam's done for him.
That's why he's an everyday guy for head coach Taylor Jellikowski in this Mammoth team. Sharkus with a 1-0 count. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. That came back in the 4th inning. Part of a 4-run 4th that included back-to-back 2-run doubles from Colby Seltzer and Hank Dotson coming in the bottom of that lineup. One's across the board with Liam standing at first base. Silva does not get the call on the corner. 2-1.
That's a pitch you usually expect to get the slider breaking through the zone. It caught the edge. You think usually you get that call compared to the backdoor slider, but not to be for Silva.
Nice stab from Aviles to keep that in front. Hitters count now for Anthony Sharkus, looking for his first hit of the night. And that's ball 4.
Same pitch as that, I believe it was ball 2. That's right there, and, well, just can't miss it. You just saw Silva kind of ask, saying, hey, was that up? Was that up? And I think a little bit frustrated Silva with the back-to-back walks because those weren't bad pitches to miss on.
Nick Pastor will bat with 2 on and 1 out. Silva's slider favors Pastor in this at-bat, cutting in a little bit towards him. Silva leaves it on the outer half, and it swings back to the middle. Nick could have a big swing. But Silva's looking for a huge strikeout with 2 on, trailing by 3. He's walked both base runners. Working third base side of the rubber, setting up near the ear and now down by the chest. Pastor is going to try to bunt one. Foul. Oh for 2 with a hit by pitch. Pastor has struck out his last 2 times to the plate.
Hey, if you get 1 run back as the Mammoths, you feel like you're just going to keep pushing the Diamond Hoppers away. They've been threatening, and a very frustrating night for Eastside and the Mammoths. You get 1 here, man. You can only get up off the mat so many times.
Swing and a miss from Pastor. He's down 0-2. See what Silva gives him. Filled up the zone on that pitch at 88 miles an hour with the fastball. Liam down at second, Sharkus at first. Here's the 0-2 on the way. It's going to hit Pastor in the ankle. Silva beside himself, and the bases are loaded.
Had an old coach tell me those are the pitches that break clipboards. 0-2 and you hit a guy, and Silva is not happy with himself, understandably so. You're in control of the count, and that one just missed horribly. Load the bases on his own accord.
Also, that was the 10th hit by pitch for Nick Pastor. That leads the team in the league. It's a guy that doesn't crowd the plate all that much, not like Anthony Rizzo, but he's still up on that plate a little bit. 10th time he's been hit this year.
Some guys just have that pull.
And pulling that pitch across into the other batter's box was Justin Silva. 1-0 to Zach Weaver. What a swing he had last time. I mean, the Weaver-Fleming 5-6 combo, that's so deadly, man.
Again, a couple of imposing guys in the box as well.
1-0, not close. 6'4", 220 build for Zach Weaver from Mars Hill University. 6'6", 225 is Fleming on deck.
Again, a couple of tight ends.
Maybe some 7-on-7s on a Tuesday with these guys. The 2-0 pitch is not close, or is a little bit closer, but it's off the plate again. 3-0.
Well, it was a couple innings back that it was Marcoux that tattooed one right at Fleming, and 6'6" just had to reach up and make the grab. If he's 6 foot 6'1", that might be over his head for a double.
Weaver's going to make him throw him a strike with the bases loaded and 1 out. That'll find the zone. 1 for 2 with the walk today for Weaver. Went deep with a solo shot. That was the last run Westside had scored today, last inning. And now another RBI opportunity here for Weaver. Swing and a miss, full count.
He was trying to outdo that last home run with that swing.
As an upper ender fastball went chasing upstairs. And we'll get a full count pitch. Silva needs it badly right here. Cannot afford a third walk in this inning. Liam stands at third. Sharkus at second. Both of them walked, and Pastor at first was hit by a pitch. Silva grips the ball in his throwing hand, folds the glove on his left pec, now comes set. Taps that front foot a few times, focuses on the hitter. The 3-2 is down and outside, ball 4. Liam will come in to score on the walk. 7-3 Mammoths in the 7th inning.
Now batting the first baseman, number 17, Drew Fleming.
Fleming's 1 for 2 with a walk. And here comes head coach Ryan Kottke, who's not going to waste any time. He's going to the bullpen. It's time for Caleb Rush. So two of the tallest players in the USPBL will face off here between Fleming and Rush. Not a great outing for Silva. He walks 3 and hits 1. Ultimately walks in a run with that base on balls to Zach Weaver. 7-3 in the 7th. Caleb Rush onto the bump for the Hoppers. This is your home for USPBL baseball.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today. Enter Caleb Rush, second out of the bullpen for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. The tall righty trying to put a stop to the bleeding.
Yeah, and he's going to have a tall task trying to clean up this mess. Caleb Rush in the year, not very pretty numbers, and just under 19 innings of work, an ERA north of 8. The strikeout to walks, strikeouts are nice. The walks about 1 an inning. He's given up his fair bits of hits as well, 270 against. This is a chance to work on his stuff and try to keep this game manageable as we get closer to the finish line.
Predominantly a four-seam fastball out of the hand of Rush. He will mix in a curveball, a splitter, and a slider. 270 average. The league is hitting against Rush on the year. The first pitch to Drew Fleming is a strike on the inside corner, upper inner corner.
95 high and tight is going to be tough to turn around. Don't care who you are.
Silva struck out the first batter he faced in Walker and then allowed the next 4 aboard via the free pass. That's a curveball inside as Fleming is backed off.
He fooled Fleming, just couldn't quite get it back over the plate, but that was a nice idea. He had Drew fooled at that one.
Rush, first base side of the rubber. He sets up near the shoulders. The 1-1 pitch is a little bit low. Aviles did all he could to try to squeeze that one in the zone.
And the one thing you don't want to do after it's been walk, hit by pitch, walk, is come in and, well, walk another guy.
Bases still loaded, a 7-3 ball game. The 2-1 on the way. Off speed upstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike now to Fleming. He's been aboard the last 2 times, a single into left field last frame and a walk with a run scored in the 4th.
I mean, if you're Drew Fleming, you have to be swinging for the fences here, right? Bases loaded, you're up 4. This is kind of a free pass you get with this swing. And you took it.
Yeah. Jammed him inside with the fastball at 95. Fleming just couldn't turn on it. We're going to push to full. Fleming semi-open stance, tucks the bat in close near the right ear. Full count on the way. Tipped into the glove for strike 3. Clutch pitch from Caleb Rush for out number 2.
And that pitch had a little extra pop in the mitt. That one sounded 95.
Rush at 6'6", 240. He just took on Drew Fleming at 6'6", 225. Colby Seltzer with the bases loaded. Left field, going back Marcoux. Grand slam, Mammoths. Second bomb of the game for Colby, number 7 on the year. And Westside's broken this thing wide open.
94 right down Main Street. You know Colby Seltzer coming up, probably in the back of his mind thought, yeah, let's put this one over the fence. And boy, he didn't miss that one. Make it 7. Count it 7 RBIs on the day for Colby. Yeah, this is going to be one you're going to want to remember.
My goodness, that was launched. Middle of the zone at the letters, and he elevated and celebrated. A 5-run 7th inning telling the story right now. 11-3 Westside. Silva got the first man out, walked the next 3 of 4, including a hit by pitch. Rush, the first batter he faces, a strikeout. And then Seltzer takes him deep for a grand slam. 2-0 to Hank Dodson, who's 2 for 3. He's had a great day as well. All the RBIs, Brady, today coming from the 5th, 7th, and 8th hitters in this Westside lineup.
And if I didn't make a mistake, all on extra base hits as well.
Yes, sir.
So there's no manufacturing runs. There's no, hey, get a guy to first, steal, and sack fly. No, it's 11 runs have scored. I mean, 7 of them have been from Colby Seltzer, so he's a big part of it. But, you know, on doubles and home runs, yeah, this has been a fun day to be a Mammoths fan.
It's a 4-pitch walk to Hank Dodson and another base runner. Nothing going in the bullpen right now for Eastside. But Rush, after a strikeout, has given up a long ball and a walk. There's still 2 outs in the inning. That'll bring up Jose Cedeno, the 9th batter this frame. Jake Walker would be next. He struck out against Silva to start this frame. Jose takes outside. Motorcycle night at the ballpark. I've heard a few revs of the engine, a few Harleys.
There was a lot here, too. They had the entire backstop full.
Make it 2 balls, no strikes. I got a nice picture pregame, just lined up down that first base side on the warning track. There were some 3-wheelers, some 2-wheelers. And Rush trying to throw a strike. He's thrown 6 straight balls. There it is, 2-1.
He's a little gun shy because the last strike he threw before that pitch ended up about 360 feet behind him for a grand slam.
Cedeno could do the same. Rush got a set and go, the 2-1. Bottom rung of the zone does not get the call. 3 balls and 1 strike. Hitters count for big 4-1, Jose Cedeno. Dotson inching off of first base. He's got nowhere to go, up by 8 runs. Straight called at the knees, another full count. Rush is battling, though, even though he's gone to a 3-ball count in every batter besides Seltzer. He hit the first pitch out. 3-2, 2 outs. Dotson's off with the pitch. Cedeno stays alive. Just crossed over the 2-hour mark of our ball game. There's a 2.5-hour limit, but there's a lot of times we'll play over that if we're late in the ball game, which we are currently.
Yeah, it's not a hard limit like you'll see at the lower levels. It's more depending on the pace of play.
Line drive from Cedeno, caught by Maddox for out number 3, but a huge inning for the Mammoths. Several walks help him out. Colby Seltzer with the big fly. Second home run today, 7 total RBIs. Just grabbed himself his first grand slam of the season. We played 7 innings of baseball. It's 11-3 Westside on the USPBL network.
I'm Anthony Tomey, CEO of Tomey Group, and we're one of the largest Jimmy John franchisees in the country. With 50 Jimmy Johns and over 700 employees, it's a challenge to manage operations. What could possibly go wrong with owning 50 Jimmy Johns? People don't show up, equipment fail, run out of bread, no tomatoes, we need onions. Many different things can happen. Tryon allows us to really focus on the food and the operations of the restaurant.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Everyone has something that motivates them to do better. And for me, that's my daughter Shelby. I named Shelby Construction Services after her as a reminder to always run the company in a way that would make her proud. Our goal isn't just to get the job done, but to get it done right. And that means making sure every customer has a 5-star experience. I think how a company treats you is just as important as the finished product. My daughter wouldn't have it any other way.
Call 833-6-SHELBY. That's 833-6-SHELBY.
New pitcher on the bump for Westside with an 8-run lead. It's the lefty, Jacob Meyer. He's going to take over for Connor Tomasic, who went 2 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
Jacob Meyer is going to have a very stress-free in terms of high leverage outing unless something completely gets turned on his head. The lefty, a 2.81 ERA in just under 26 innings of work. High strikeouts, low walks. It's everything you want to see out of a reliever.
And we have another Rudel Anderson pitching change. Now pitching.
A 5-run 7th paired with a 4-run 4th is really all that these Mammoths needed. They added 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 3rd inning. It was Seltzer who got it started with a solo bomb. He then hit a 2-run double in the 4th and a grand slam in the 7th for a total of 7 RBIs. Far and away the player of the game if the score stands the same.
Yeah, it's I don't really know what would change that. I mean, a 7 RBI day, that's got to be one of the, unofficially I'm going to say it's one of the high water marks of the season. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone that's got quite up to 7. I know we've had a few 4s and 5s, but 7's quite the day.
He could have another at-bat. He would be the 7th to bat next inning, and it's really one more at-bat here for the Mammoths as we're in the 8th inning, and Westside's the home squad. Still close it out in about an inning. First pitch to Ben Ferguson is inside.
These are the outings where you can, hey, maybe you can experiment a little more than you normally would. Numbers still count all the same. Hey, the film still goes out to the scouts all the same. But if there's something you want to work on a little more with an 8-run cushion, you can be a little more liberal with some of the chances you take.
Ferguson's had a pretty good day. 2 for 2 with the walk, a double included with a run scored. 2-1 the count now as that catches the knees. Zeb Rose and Ferguson, really the two highlights today for this Hopper team. 3-1. Stevenson had a sac fly last inning to get a run back, but Westside answered with 5 more. Cornwell had a double to start the game. It looked like a promising start for Eastside, but they were shut down immediately after that. A 5-pitch walk starts off to Ben Ferguson. Leadoff man aboard for yet the 4th inning in a row.
And for a game that has not gone the Diamond Hoppers' way, Ben Ferguson has reached 4 times in this one.
2 on hits, 2 on walks, and Matt Gehrig will try at it again. 0 for 3. 3 swinging strikeouts today. Lefty-righty matchup with Meyer working third base side of the rubber. Fastball high for ball 1. Swing and a miss from Gehrig. That pitch has just been working today against the right-handed hitter. Down and away, whether it's a fastball or a breaking pitch, anything low and outside is getting swung on and missed. Make it 1-2.
Just feels like there's no confidence from Gehrig right now.
I mean, when he connects with the ball, it goes a long way. 2 weeks ago, he did have a grand slam. He's 3rd on the team in RBIs with 21. Gets the job done, but that strikeout rate is high. The 1-2 near the chin. Tomorrow night will feature the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers and the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Westside, their only game after tonight will be tomorrow. They have Saturday and Sunday off. Saturday, August 10th, will be just a single game. We're all done with doubleheaders this year. Beavers will take on the Unicorns, and here's Gehrig with a poke into center field. He needed that one.
Took the words out of my mouth. In the worst way did he need that single. There's a nice swing, sends it back up the middle. Good way to end it after 3 straight strikeouts, because a 4th one, that can really hurt the confidence. Have a couple days off after this one before the Sunday game for the Hoppers. But that one, he's probably standing on first with a deep breath going, finally, like, all right, there we go. That's what we needed.
Yeah, 0 for 4, 4 Ks is a ton different than 1 for 4 with 3 Ks. First pitch to Zeb Rose is high. A little bit of a spark here for the Diamond Hoppers. Trailing by 8, they only have 6 outs to play with.
Well, you mentioned the Beavers play tomorrow, and they've been playing really well. They dug themselves in the deep hole. 11 games left. They are 6 out of that 3rd place spot. So they're going to have to probably go 8-3 down the stretch to not finish last. I'm not saying it's probable, but I wouldn't put it past them. The bad news for them is their next 2 games or their next game against these Mammoths, who are playing pretty well. They have a good variety coming up, but to catch either the Unicorns or the Hoppers, they're going to need to put up a very strong record and hope one of these teams goes on a skid.
They have a date with Westside tomorrow and Utica on Saturday. Our weekend schedule will wrap up with the Unicorns and these very same Hoppers at 1:05 on Sunday. Meyer, a 1-2 count on Rose. The pitch is on the way, way high and outside. Excited to see Matt Swiley making his USPBL debut tomorrow for the Mammoths. 2-2 to Rose, swing and a miss. Meyer posts his first strikeout with 2 on and nobody gone. That's number 1.
Again, in an 8-run game, you can pitch a little more, I guess, stress-free. It looks like that's going to be the end of the day for Meyer.
Walks 1, allows a hit, and strikes out Rose. So a little bit of everything from the lefty. Jacob Meyer, the 23-year-old from Iowa Lakes, CC, and Purdue Fort Wayne will have the ball taken from him. Solid in relief. We're going to step aside as a new arm comes into the ball game. Looks to be Aaron Evers for the Mammoths. 11-3, 2 on, 1 out. Hoppers knocking on the door, trailing by a ton here in the 8th.
I'm Anthony Tomey, CEO of Tomey Group, and we're one of the largest Jimmy John franchisees in the country. With 50 Jimmy Johns and over 700 employees, it's a challenge to manage operations. What could possibly go wrong with owning 50 Jimmy Johns? People don't show up, equipment fail, run out of bread, no tomatoes, we need onions. Many different things can happen. Tryon allows us to really focus on the food and the operations of the restaurant.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Everyone has something that motivates them to do better. And for me, that's my daughter Shelby. I named Shelby Construction Services after her as a reminder to always run the company in a way that would make her proud. Our goal isn't just to get the job done, but to get it done right. And that means making sure every customer has a 5-star experience. I think how a company treats you is just as important as the finished product. My daughter wouldn't have it any other way.
Call 833-6-SHELBY. That's 833-6-SHELBY.
Four-year-old out of North Park University and Butler is the right-hander Tyler Banks. He takes the mound in place of Jacob Meyer. Banks only a few appearances so far this year. This is his third total appearance, second in relief, rocking a 5.79 ERA through just 4 2/3. 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 walks and 4 strikeouts in his time. A little bit of everything for Tyler, just getting his feet wet in one of his earlier outings this season.
And the quick hook for Meyer is telling me that, hey, they might want him available for tomorrow's game. Maybe get his arm loose, if he hadn't thrown in a while, come back and say, all right, if we need a lefty tomorrow, you're the only one we have on staff. So if we need you to come in for an inning, I don't want that pitch count to get too high, that you are able to come back for a second straight day.
That's smart. And you ended on a high note with a strikeout to Rose. Third relief arm for Westside. Hoppers have only used 2. That was Silva and Rush. Fitzpatrick made the start for Westside. Tomasic came in for 2 innings. Meyer for a third of a frame. And now Tyler Banks will face Todd Maddox and Luis Aviles. 2 on, 1 out. Might not face Aviles if these Mammoths roll yet another double play. Breaking ball for strike 1 on the outside corner. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored for Todd. Came in to score on the sac fly from Stevenson last inning. Banks holds the glove close. This one's pulled on the ground. Diving play from Seltzer. Can't get it. It's going to be just a single that does not score a run. Ferguson holds up at third. Everybody moves up 90 feet.
And if you hit the run column, it's 8 hits for each side. The difference is, by my count, it was only 4 walks for Westside pitching. 4 walks for Westside, 5 walks. Excuse me. Geez, I need to learn how to count. Not a math major. And then you look at the Diamond Hoppers, and they've walked and hit a combined 8 guys.
Fly ball off the bat of Aviles. Deep right field, caught by Cedeno. Tagging and scoring is Ferguson. Up to third moves Gehrig, and it's 11-4 with the second straight inning with a sac fly for Eastside. They're going to need a big swing in the gap or over the fence to try to make this a ball game. Still trailing by 7 runs with 4 outs to play with. Bailey Martin today is 0 for 3, a pair of strikeouts and a ground out. And he's squared up in the back with 88. Martin's going to hop and skip down the line. Bases are loaded once again.
He didn't have an opportunity to get out of the way of that one. That one was between the shoulder blades.
Next up in the Hoppers, the right fielder, number 23, Colin Cornwell.
Third time this year, Martin has been hit by a pitch, and now Cornwell will bat. Bases juiced, 2 outs, and a run scored in the inning. Double in his first at-bat. A couple of ground outs and a walk so far after that for Colin. First pitch, 88 at the feet. Meyer started the frame, walked one, gave up a base hit, and struck out Zeb Rose. And coming in the game is Banks. Here's a tapper to second. Play for Walker. It's over his glove into right field. Gehrig will score. Coming in is Maddox. Error from the Westside second baseman leads to 2 more runs. 11-6 here in the 8th.
Feels like it's a little late for that clutch break. I mean, a 5-run game, you have runners on, you get a big base hit here, you're thinking, all right, maybe it's possible, but maybe a little closer than Taylor Jellikowski would like for comfort.
Stevenson with a sac fly his last time, cannot do that in this at-bat with 2 gone. Front door slider for strike 1. 8th batter this inning is Stevenson. 1 for 3 with a sac fly. Nice stop from Dodson. Evens the count up. If Stevenson's able to find a way on base, you bring up Noah Marcoux with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
Make your hold your breath a little bit.
So you're saying there's a chance. The 1-1, high and inside. It's my best Lloyd Christmas impression.
Yeah, I think you have a little bit of a better chance than Lloyd did, but I don't think by much.
Stevenson takes strike 2 at the belt. Great pitch from Banks as that swung back in.
I think he was upset he let that one go. He was looking fastball on that one. Found that middle part of the zone.
Corners with 2 gone. It's an 11-6 ball game. 3 runs in this inning for Eastside. Here's a ground ball past the glove of Weaver into left field. Scoring is Martin. 11-7 for Noah Marcoux with 2 outs.
Now, I do like that the Diamond Hoppers aren't just rolling over and letting this game get away from them. They're battling back as, hey, a long ball here, and it's a 1-run game.
They easily could have rolled over. Easily.
Yes.
I mean, after that second double play in the 5th inning, you only have 2 runs, and you're down 7-2. I mean, you could turn it in right there, but you're right. I mean, a walk and a hit by pitch, but everything else has been with the barrel.
Honestly, in a 4-run game, I know I say this just about every time Marcoux comes up to bat, I might pitch around him. Because no disrespect to Ben Ferguson, I know he hasn't been set down, but I would be more worried about a Noah Marcoux 3-run shot than I would be about a Ben Ferguson grand slam. Hey, if he singles in 2 runs, I'd rather have that than put a cookie over there for Marcoux.
2-0, moves to 3-0.
Yeah, especially 3-0. I'm not putting 3 get-me-over pitches in a row to Marcoux.
Especially with Marcoux being 0 for 3 with a walk, that just means he's due.
And he lined the last one pretty well right at Fleming over at first. So if he elevates a swing like that, look out.
On the tip of the toe on the front foot is Marcoux, waiting on a 3-1 pitch from Banks. He's going to foul it away. Full count. Tyler Banks crawls all the way back from 3-0. 4-run top of the 8th inning so far for the Hoppers. Runners will be off with the pitch. Down at second is Cornwell. He reached on an error. Base hit from Stevenson. He's at first. 3-2 fly ball right field. This ball's carrying. Cedeno makes the catch at the track. He gave it a ride. Did not have the juice, and a few more feet, and we would have had ourselves a 1-run ball game. Marcoux flies out to end the frame, but the Hoppers get 4 back thanks to Luis Aviles, Colin Cornwell, and Grant Stevenson. 11-7, this is your home for USPBL baseball. Mammoths on top.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third extra time. This is banking a fifth third better.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester, or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Hopper offense did their job in the top half of the inning, scoring 4 runs. It's now time for Delmas Russ and the relief pitching to put up a 0 and give their team a shot down by 4 runs late.
Yeah, that top half of the inning at least gives you a reasonable shot in the 9th. So for Delmas, you see the numbers right there, pretty good. Again, so what's been the story of basically the entire Hopper bullpen? The walks are a bit high, but the strikeouts at least match it. So put a 0 up and give your guys at least a fighter's chance, a chip in a chair in the 9th.
4 walks in the 7th inning alone for Hopper relievers between Silva and Rush. It's going to be up to Russ this time to try to limit those, command the zone. I know you see the even numbers on walk-to-strikeout ratio, but if Delmas is able to find a way to get these hitters out, starting with Jake Walker at the top of the lineup, who knows what can happen in the 9th. I mean, we were a few feet away from a 1-run ball game. Noah Marcoux gave it a ride, but Cedeno tracked it down a few feet away from the right field pole.
Yeah, off the bat, I thought that Marcoux ball was going a lot farther than it did. I don't know if it had top spin. I don't know if he just didn't get a hold of it like I thought he did, but it had that sweet crack of the bat. And also when Noah Marcoux hits one pretty square, you're just kind of assuming it's gone.
Jake Walker goes the opposite way to right field, coming over, making the catch, crashing into the wall. Colin Cornwell. He's made some really nice plays in the outfield. He just finds a way into the wall at some point, whether it's in foul ground or out in left field.
There have been a lot of nice defensive plays throughout the entire game, and a lot of them by the Diamond Hoppers.
Yeah, Stevenson was awesome over at shortstop. Cornwell just made a nice one. Russ kind of straddling that rubber. First pitch to Fox Liam, bounces away from Aviles. 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. That walk and run came in the 7th. A 5-run 7th inning, continued to extend the lead, and we'd have quite the ball game right now without all those walks. Last frame for the Mammoths on offense. There's a pitch at the top of the zone. 2-0.
Yeah, I think the Hoppers are going to look back on this and go, man, we had some missed opportunities. Some walks really hurt us. A couple of double plays ending innings. Just a frustrating game overall for the Hoppers.
Fox Liam, opposite field. He keeps it in the park for a double. A few feet away from an opposite field home run. I thought that Marcoux might come down with that on the run. It's a Fox Liam double, his first hit of the game.
Now batting for left fielder, number 21.
Yeah, he almost overran it a bit. I don't know if that carried a little more, but Liam will take that double. That's his first hit of the night.
It looked like he was tracking it. Liam gave it a good ride. It just died down at the warning track, much like Marcoux did. Sharkus is 0 for 2 with a pair of walks. Each time he has reached, he has scored. Russ leaves it in the other batter's box, 1-0. Nice catch from Aviles to not allow Liam to move up to third base. 11-7's our score. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. 19 total hits between the two teams today. Beautiful slider there. More of a sweeper from Russ for strike 1. Delmas checks the runner, now goes home. A little bit low. Sharkus, another very wise eye at the dish. Guy with a ton of college experience, has played so much baseball. Very seasoned and very disciplined at the dish. A lot like Fox Liam down there at second base.
And when you have those guys that usually don't chase, sometimes you get the benefit on those borderline calls. Right on cue, a rare chase from Sharkus.
Good pitch from Russ. Is that at 91 cut in on the hands? Game feels farther apart than it actually is. A huge 4-run inning for Eastside brought them right back into things. Russ will step off and regroup. Swing and a miss. Delmas Russ after the double gets Sharkus swinging for out number 2.
And stranding Liam at second would go a long way, at least again, to keeping the confidence there. Diamond Hoppers put up 5 runs in the last 2 innings, so it's not impossible that the Hoppers can find a way to make this happen, but they have to stop from digging this hole any deeper than it's been.
Ben Ferguson will lead things off for the Hoppers in the top of the 9th inning as Pastor takes strike 1. Pastor has struck out twice. He has also been hit by a pitch twice. Russ, a long look down there at Liam. Outside of the lefty. 4, 5, 6 batters for Eastside. They can do some damage in that spot. Also, the bottom half of the lineup has combined for 3 hits. Pastor way out in front, make it 1-2.
Hear the grunt on that swing from Pastor.
Rush trying to finish this inning off with a 0. It'll be the first time Eastside will do that since the 5th inning. It's a grunt there from Russ. I think that was the noise we were hearing. Every time he releases the ball, a little extra force. 2-2 now to the lefty.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a late grunt too. Like that ball is almost to the plate by the time you hear it.
Like a tennis player in the Olympics. The 2-2 in the dirt. I feel like we've gone to a ton of 3-2 counts today, Brady.
Absolutely, especially in the back half of this game.
Yeah, ever since the 6th inning ended.
I was going to say that the first few innings, the batters were aggressive. I mean, the 2 starters were filling up the zone. Relievers have been a little more erratic, so the approach, smartly, from the batters has changed to a little more patient.
Pastor will have the 3-2 one more time. Russ already with a strikeout. He's allowed a double. That's Liam down there at second. 3-2 again. Beautiful backdoor breaking ball for strike 3. Russ K's the last 2 batters he faces. We go to the 9th. Hoppers need 4 to tie and keep this game alive. Westside's eyeing down their 19th win of the season. They need 3 outs. It's 11-7. This is your home for USPBL baseball.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms, and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
The perfect match. It's what so many of us are looking for. When it comes to getting a mortgage, how can you find the one that's perfect for you? Start at mortgagematchup.com. Because the only way to get a mortgage that's easier and more affordable is to find a local home loan expert first. Go to mortgagematchup.com today.
Banks will be tasked with the final 3 outs of the ball game, nursing a 4-run lead. Alongside Brady Beat and Tom Cavanaugh from the USPBL Network, and it's down to the final 3 right now. Eastside was able to scrap together 4 runs last inning. If they do that again, we're headed to the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, it's going to all be up to what this Diamond Hopper offense can do. Do they have another punch in them? Because they've been getting off the mat, and every time the Mammoths have knocked them back down. Now they're running out of time, running out of outs. They start with Ben Ferguson, so the middle part of the order starts with one. Got to get the first guy on. Can't hit a grand slam from the leadoff spot.
Probably the best night out of any Hopper hitter goes to Ferguson. 2 for 2 with a pair of walks. He's reached all 4 times. And Banks leaves the first pitch inside at the knees. Nearly hit him.
Game could start with the Banks and end with the Banks.
Beautiful pitch set in, right down the middle, swinging from the outside part of the plate, 1-1. That's true. Pierce made the start for Eastside. Tyler in the closing role here for Westside. Big swing and a miss. 1-2.
All right, on 1-1, I don't mind that hack. 1-2 down 4. You got to shorten up, put the ball in play. Just get on base any way you can. If you get 2 guys on to lead off the inning, all of a sudden it gets a little more nervous. There is some action in that Diamond Hopper bullpen should Tyler need some relief.
Set up outside is Dotson. The 1-2 pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball at 82 miles an hour. Gets Ferguson out for the first time today in his 5th at-bat.
That was a nice job by Tyler Banks. Heck of a put-away pitch.
He was not expecting that. Way out in front. Perfectly executed. And now here comes Matt Gehrig, who singled last inning. 1 for 4 on the day, 3 strikeouts. Strike 1 called, upper inner corner. Gehrig does not love the call. That's in there.
Yeah, it doesn't get by much, but it clips the zone.
Small leg kick from Banks. This one's shot out of play, 0-2. As we mentioned, tomorrow, August 9th, 7:05 start. Brady Beat and Tom Cavanaugh on the call for you. Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers squaring off against these Westside Woolly Mammoths. 0-2 pitch, wave and a miss. Half-hearted hack from Gehrig. Back-to-back strikeouts for Banks, and the Hoppers are down to their final out.
After Gehrig had that nice swing last time up, it's the 4th punch out of the day, and that's it. It's been a long night for Gehrig. Have a feeling he'll bounce back pretty quickly on Sunday, but you know, baseball's a mentally straining game. You're going to have more nights like this than more nights when you're 4 for 4. So the ability to bounce back is just so big in this sport.
Zebros is the last chance. He's 1 for 4 today. Pop out, grounded into a double play, struck out. Also has an RBI double that came in the 4th. Strike call, make it 1-1. That double in the 4th inning actually gave the Hoppers a 2-1 lead. That was the last time they led.
Feels like a lifetime ago. Because they immediately gave it back up.
Bottom of the 4th inning was a 4 spot from Westside. And then in the 7th, it's a close game still. 1 run from Eastside, they chip away, and boom, a 5 spot in the bottom half of that same inning from the Mammoths. Every time they get scored on for 1 or 2, they come right back with a crooked number. 2-1 pitch to Rose, pulled on the ground, diving, unable to make the play is Zach Weaver. Ball trickles off the glove, so it's in shallow left. Rose will take second. Second double of the day for Zeb. But they're going to need a little bit more with 2 outs. It's got to be a long rally here for the Hoppers, down by 4.
Well, your job right now, don't make the last out.
Yep.
Just pass the baton to the next guy. Whether you get hit, whether you get a hit, whether you walk, whether you reach via catcher's interference, as long as you can find a way on base, that's the important part.
Huge wave and a miss from Maddox on the first pitch that he sees. 5th at-bat for these Hopper hitters. In the bottom third of the lineup, 1 for 3 with a walk. Today is Todd. On the ground to third base, this should do it. Weaver going to throw across the diamond to first. Fleming snags it off the dirt. And that's our ball game. 11-7 win for Westside. They are now 8-2 against the Eastside Diamond Hoppers this season through 10 games, dominating the series. And Eastside now has 17 losses on the season. They move to 500, and 8 of those 17 losses coming at the hands of the Westside Woolly Mammoths.
Yeah, and that drops them into third place in the standings. Mammoths are going to have to, or excuse me, the Diamond Hoppers, rather, are going to have to take the next 2 days, collect themselves, and find something for that final push, because a team once high atop the standings had a little cushion, has fallen quite far in Westside, inching closer and closer to clinching that first spot. It's still a little ways away, but each win gets them one step closer to getting back into that championship game.
Pierce Banks grabs the loss. He moves to 4-4. Carter Fitzpatrick earns the win. He is 1-0 in his second start. Huge win for Westside. They needed it to separate themselves in first, and the updated standings tell you all that right there. One more time tomorrow, Friday, August 9th at 7:05. Pregame at 6:50. Myself, Tom Cavanaugh, alongside my partner Brady Beaton. We're going to have action for you all weekend long. Want to give a huge thank you to our entire crew today. EP David Forrest, our director Christian Jackson, Alex Siegel, Jacob Maurer on the producing, Dom Minchella on graphics, who was awesome today, Cooper Schoenberg, and RJ Carroll manning the cameras. Your final score one more time, 11-7. The Hoppers drop one and fall to third place, a half game back of the Unicorns for second. Big day from Colby Seltzer, had 7 RBIs, including 2 home runs and a grand slam. For my partner Brady Beaton, I'm Tom Cavanaugh. We'll see you tomorrow night, 6:50 sharp, for another edition of USPBL Baseball. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your night.